Wake up, gamers, because you're listening to the Big Think Dimension with Dan and Bob Video Games.
That's a pretty big podcast.
For you. KZ Excellent.
Blah, 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 blah.
And Mr. Feel.
I guess we really were a realm reborn.
Here on GigaBoots.
Look, I'm just saying eating a pie directly with a spoon is unhinged to begin with. Doing it in theater is like an extra level of unhinged, sure. But, like, I respect people who are going to eat a pumpkin pie with their hands more than people who are just going to eat it out of the tin with a spoon. That just seems wrong.
Yeah, he doesn't cut it or anything. It's crazy.
Because he just came from the Walmart and went to the AMC.
Yeah, I think eating pie with a spoon's fine. The crust isn't that hard. It's soft. You can just cut right through it.
But out of the tin. That's the part that
you So, how else are you supposed to eat it? You go down, you get it into the crust, and you scoop up, and you get the crust too.
I need a straw.
What I think is he should just grab the whole pie up.
Oh, yeah.
Like, take a bite out of it.
Yeah, fucking do it.
Yeah, just bite the side of the pie.
We need to get a pie after this podcast.
Look, all I'm saying is either what Bob just said or you went somewhere for the plasticware, right?
Right.
You got the spoon from somewhere. Maybe they had a knife. Maybe you could just cut it into fourths and just eat it with your hand.
He could have put a spoon from his house into his pocket.
Oh, God. Now I'm going to have to CSI this photo to see if it's plastic or it looks like house silverware. That's insane.
Oh, no.
I don't think it's bright enough for me to be able to tell. I don't think it's bright enough.
It's not.
We're not including any images of this. If you want this shit, go to Twitter.
He has like napkins on his armrest, so I have to assume he stole plastic silverware from somewhere.
He could have taken it.
Or he asked the deli at Walmart for it.
Right. I was going to say, a lot of delis have plasticware. They could just be like, hey, here's your plasticware. And he's just like, can I get a spoon? And they're like, sure, sir. What do you... And then they see the pie in his hand. And they're just like, oh, one of those days, huh? He's like, nah, today's great. I'm going to go watch Addams Family 2. I
think taking a whole pie into a theater is a Chad move.
I think it's funny as shit because the seat he's in has a recliner. Like the legs go up.
Yeah.
So
I paid the $22 for this seat.
So they can eat my ass.
I'm bringing an entire take and bake pizza into Venom 2.
Wow, that looks great. What is that? Papa Murphy stuffed pizza. I baked it at home and brought it here.
I was worried you didn't bake it.
It's like, how many trips did you take to come here with that pizza? That is 2 extra drives in order to make it here with this pizza you baked at home, you psychopath. It was pretty cool when Papa Murphy's was like, hey, this pizza is huge and filling as fuck. And I'm like, yeah, that's why me and Bob order it. And they go, but you could spend $3 to make it fucking unreasonably huge. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll do that.
It was a mistake.
Yeah, it was a terrible mistake. That's too much fucking pizza.
Yeah. Like Jesus. One slice is too much at that point.
Yeah, and those pizzas don't keep well necessarily.
No.
So having those enormous stuffed crust or stuffed pizza slices left over is just absolutely nuts. As I understand it, though, this is a gaming podcast.
Yes.
That's what I've been told. I don't see any evidence of that, given that the title doesn't say video games. I'm just thinking bigly about guys eating pies in movie theaters.
Oh, okay. Talk about a video game, though.
Oh, okay.
You know, whenever you want.
Okay, Mario 2's all right. I think they were wise to say, hey, Japan, this actual Mario 2 you made is terrible. Because it is.
Fuck that game.
Yeah, that game has real I want to be the guy energy, except for there's no conceit of it knows what it is. It just says 2.
True. I respect how insanely mean I want to be the guy is, just because they want to be mean.
Yeah.
Whereas they're just like, we'll make something harder.
Whereas Mario 2, it's just like, hey, I'm the second one. I'm basically the asshole older brother of Mario.
I say those levels should have stayed lost.
That's a very good 2007 video. Thank you.
Then I want to be the guy's like, yeah, I'm just gonna port in I'm gonna code the Castlevania Symphony of the Night first boss. You're just gonna do that whole thing.
Oh, it has Slogger and Gaibon? No, wait, the first boss. You mean Dracula?
Yeah, he just has the Dracula fight, and then he's like, "Behold my true form," and then he turns into a Waddle Doo for no reason.
Nah, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
It's got a lot of funny stuff like that, but also that game's made on fucking Multimedia Fusion 2, so it's the most unstable nightmare.
Yeah, Bob and I have history with Multimedia Fusion.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a rough piece of shit is what it is.
Yeah.
People who complain about like Premiere and Vegas like breaking down on larger projects, that's Multimedia Fusion if you're trying to do fucking anything.
Yes.
What if my game is one screen, it doesn't scroll? Yeah, I'm gonna crash.
I'm just gonna crash. Not even consistently, not even within reason. I'm just gonna do it, and you can't stop me. But I guess we should talk about video games we've been playing in the last week, Bob.
Yeah, sure.
Which means we need to talk about Super Metroid,
Yeah.
Metroid Fusion, and Metroid Other M. I'm gonna avoid talking about Other M until we get there.
Sure.
Not even a word. Super Metroid's pretty playable. It's enjoyable. It's a fun time. It controls like a dump truck, but that's fine. I wouldn't say it's one of the greatest video games ever made, and that's been largely dominating the conversation I have online about Super Metroid.
Right.
Because it's not my favorite Metroid. It's Zero Mission, because Zero Mission controls tight. But Super Metroid's really amazing in how beautiful it is and how great the soundtrack is.
Yeah, I definitely have a renewed appreciation for it. It still doesn't play great, but it's a really interesting game.
Yeah. And the scope of it's so massive that it almost got canceled twice.
Yes.
So yeah, it was really great coming back to play that. It was really funny though. I remember when it came to us doing the, hey guys, we're going to do a free theme month. We're going to let you vote on what it should be. You do it. There were one or two Metroid fans who were like, I'm not voting for Metroid month because they don't like Super Metroid enough. And that playthrough was fun and pleasant. Everyone seemed to be having a really good time. Then we played Fusion.
Yeah, man. Talk about rose-colored glasses for that.
So when I first played Fusion when it came out, I remember tonally it was a little weird, and like I was broadly swiping at it in order to describe like, well, the tone's not really Metroid. It's not quite what you expect based on the three other, mainline Metroids. Because it's worth noting at this point, Prime came out like later by 2 days or something. So I hadn't played that yet. I was just playing Fusion.
Uh-huh.
And like tonally, that game's weird. And as somebody who's like a kid playing it, I didn't exactly know what was up. But yeah, the part where that game every 5 minutes tells you exactly where to go and what to do. And then areas don't seamlessly flow between each other at all. You use the same elevator to get to everywhere until later in the game when some areas spill over into the others because you're blowing them up.
Yeah, and you have to constantly go back to the control room to talk to them, even if you think that you're at a point in the game where you can keep exploring. It's like, no, actually, you should have gone back.
Yeah, because
it got a new mission.
Because it'll actually unlock what you need to do next.
Yeah.
In the navigation room. So that's not great. The part where every line Adam says repeats itself at least 3 times is not great. The part where the writing is the least effective it could possibly be, where they'll spend paragraphs saying something super simple. Like, no, we're not going to allow you to do that. Somehow it takes a paragraph.
Yeah.
And this is on the Game Boy Advance, where you get very, very little text on screen at a time because of the font size and various other things. It's rough. It's real rough. And honestly, I think soundtrack-wise, it doesn't hold up to, like, Super Metroid or Zero Mission.
I don't think it holds up to any of them. It might be the weakest soundtrack in the series.
Said Bob, trying to dodge 2.
Except for 2, which has a song.
I enjoy 2 soundtrack immensely. It's very powerful and it has a vision.
I went back and listened. Shut up.
Nah. Metroid 2's soundtrack is really good when it wants to be there. Sometimes Metroid 2 drinks a little much.
Yeah, you're really
It's hungover.
describing like the one guy who only clocks in at work like 6 hours for 1 day a week, and you're like, I don't know, but he really put some shit in there.
Yeah, that dude's an artist.
Hey, he's also fired.
well, that's fine. But yeah, Fusion's soundtrack is also kind of like there's 2 really good songs, I think, and not like great, but really good. And then the rest kind of just whatever. So between that, the terrible writing, which wouldn't be a problem if they didn't write so much. It's incessant.
It's nonstop.
It's never going to let you play the game. You have to go into that room and listen to Adam. Between all that stuff, it's like, it's kind of one of the weakest Metroid entries, I think. Like, in my opinion, going back to it.
Yeah, I don't want to play it again. It's sad. I think that it has really neat concepts, like the thought of this alien that's taken over Samus's suit is really neat, and they go as a horror aspect sometimes when it's chasing you.
Yes.
But everything else is kind of bad.
I think there are, like you were just saying, there are a lot of really cool things in that game.
Yeah,
like there are a lot of neat concepts. Like the nightmare itself is a really cool design and a neat concept. I don't know that it meshes perfectly with Metroid aesthetically. Like it just doesn't look like it fits in with the rest of the game, but it's cool as shit. And that BSL station is like, it's a really neat idea. So then it's the worst shit in the world. When I finally, for the first time ever, play through Other M and go, it's Fusion again?
Yeah, another station that has biomes made after different Metroid areas, just like a Fusion.
And the Federation funded it, and oh no.
Yes.
No!
So now we have Samus find out 2 times in a row that the Federation's evil. She's surprised both times.
Yes, because they wrote it backwards.
Yeah.
They wrote Fusion, which is the latest point in the timeline, first. And then they wrote Other M, which is supposed to occur right before it. And then in both of them, she's like, the Federation is doing research on Metroids in a facility they made to look like different areas of the planet. I had no idea. Basically, if Dread is the same thing, we're going to end up with the fucking The Critic cruise control joke.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure it's not that based on all of the information about the game before it came out, but who knows? We'll find out in the next, 16 hours.
Yeah.
Very excited.
God, am I excited. Because, yeah, by the end of this Metroid month thing, Samus Returns ranked up really high for me. I did not expect that because it's on the 3DS and it's 30 frames per second and there's a counter mechanic. But I feel like tonally and gameplay-wise, it really executes on what it means to be like a Metroid, to explore in these areas. And they still give people who don't want to lick the ceiling, as we started calling it, a probe sensor. So that way you can pulse and that'll help you. And I really like that. I do think Samus Returns is really great. I expected to come back to Fusion and like it a lot more than I ended up liking it, which is a shame. I thought it would just be tonally weird, but yeah. It also, that game caused some deep PTSD in people because we hit 3 different rooms in the game, and at each one, parts of the audience just started screaming how much it frustrated them.
Yeah, because although that game is super handholdy, Fusion this is.
Yeah.
It'll tell you exactly where you need to go. Sometimes they'll make a puzzle that makes literally no sense and has no lead-in.
Yeah, I watched you try to solve one of them. I'm like, this is really stupid. Like, what? That one where it's like, no, you need to get the X parasite to infect a background monster.
In order to kill it, in order to open a door.
Yeah. And it makes no sense because it's like, well, that background monster is not infected by the X parasite.
Yeah,
why would that even be a problem?
It's just a creature in the sector.
Yeah.
It was here before any of the X parasites were. Yeah. There are a few moments in that game that really come off like that, and it's rough. Really, really rough, and that's unfortunate. But, it has its fans. A lot of people like Fusion, and that's cool. A lot of people also, it was their first Metroid. And I don't think it's a terrible first Metroid. I do think tonally it's weird in a way that most of them aren't. But, Other M is the same fucking game. So at some point, if you keep making Fusion again, it will become the dominant tone of the Metroid series.
So when you finished Metroid Fusion, did they say, okay, go back, there's more content?
No, it is not quite the same depth as Other M in regards for absolute insanity.
Or we have a whole ass boss.
Yeah. Bob, did you want to say some things about Super and Fusion before we move on to Other M?
Not really. I think we got most everything out. With
Okay.
Those. Yeah.
So Other M. Here's what I didn't know, you guys. I didn't know Other M was a AAA game magnum opus made by Sakamoto using the efforts of a car or a commercial CGI company and Ninja Theory. Yusuke
Team Ninja.
Hayashi, right? Team Ninja, sorry. Yusuke Hayashi, right?
Yes. Or is it Yosuke Hayashi?
I think it is Yosuke. Yeah, I think it's Yosuke. I didn't understand the depth of the AAA here.
Oh yeah, it's deep.
Things I don't expect in Metroid. Third person walk and talk, controlling like Resident Evil 4/Gears.
Yeah, I didn't expect the walk and talk. When I saw you doing that, I was like, there are some games where it's like, oh, you've retooled it. I can see this happening. Metroid is at the very bottom.
Yeah. For example, here's why. Here's my theory why that's at the bottom. Half of that is talk. You literally are slowing down the gameplay to do talking segments in fucking Metroid. But then again, it's not always talking. Sometimes they slow you down insanely for exploring.
Yep. It's really bad.
But
What?
They do the segment. You get to a building inside of the bottle station, the bottle ship. Deep, isn't it? Where you get to the bottle ship, there's a building inside. You go up the building, and then it engages the walk and talk. Bob has to walk all the way up some stairs, all the way to the right, go in a door, go down a hallway, and then a cutscene happens. And it's like, oh, thank God we're finally done with that. You move so slow in this mode. Cutscene happens, cutscene ends. Bob has to do it again. He has to walk all the way up those stairs, go all the way down that hallway, go down one more hallway, and then an enemy jumps him, and then he does a boss battle.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you have to walk back to a room that looks identical.
That's the thing. It's identical. I don't even know how to describe how identical it is. Here's my best effort, okay? Imagine your high school, four-way stop, right? Two fucking halls of the high school intersecting.
Okay.
Yeah, just two of those.
Yeah,
They
two of
look
those.
identical. They look
okay.
fucking identical. And I looked at Bob and I'm like, Bob, why did you re-enter the same room? And then enemies jumped you this time, even though that last cutscene was about you thinking there might be enemies in the room. He goes, oh, this is a different room. It's slightly down the hall. And I'm like, are you...
Yeah, I took a left instead of a right or something like that. It's almost unnoticeable.
It's so bad. It's so bad. And then you add on top of this... really, really bad Academy stuff with Samus and Adam. And she's like, Adam's the coolest. He's the coolest. He used to condescend to me and use misogynistic tone, but it's okay. I knew it was a joke, and he's my superior, and it was a joke, and it's okay. Anyways, he's the coolest guy ever. I love Adam. He's so good. And I'm like, could he do one cool thing?
He's like my dad, and it's like, what happened to your Trozodia player? And
No, it's cool.
That
He's like,
just didn't happen, I guess.
he's like my dad, and he's the coolest, and I want to bang him, and he's like my dad, and I want to bang my dad, and I'm like, please, other M, can we turn this down even slightly?
No, Sakamoto thinks this is how all women think.
Yeah. Speaking of which, this is the only time we've ever done this, but I think it's a really fun trend if we plan things in advance. After we beat Other M, we went and read the Iwata Asks live on stream for Other M.
Yeah, it was maybe the most evil
There
thing
was
you could have
one
done.
of those. Oh my God.
Dude, they read it for like over a half an hour when the first bullet point was an NES game in the modern day.
Yeah. See, I wanted modern technology, but the ease of play of an NES game, and the easiest way to do that is to restrict it just to one Wii remote.
So now it's worse than Killer 7.
Yes. Unquestionably.
Not even close. Not even close.
Yeah. That whole interview is insane and shows, like, I think that Hayashi starts having some sort of Stockholm syndrome for I can only use Wii remote.
Yeah, he's like, it was really difficult and it caused a lot of problems, but I think, I think it worked out.
Yes.
Sure.
There's a specific line in it that drove me insane, and I'm going to try to get it verbatim so that way I don't, misinterpret the words. It would be really bad. So, Bob, if you want to talk about other parts of Other M while I pull that up real quick.
This is a game where they only have two action buttons. So to dodge, you actually have to use the D-pad and time the hit moving your character, and then they'll do a dodge animation if you're lucky.
What?
Yeah, it's intensely bad. You have a jump and a shoot button. Other than that,
Fuck everyone who I've ever seen defend this game.
yeah, no, the
Which
people.
which so far, as far as I can remember, is Tom Preston, notable internet clown, and Movie Bob.
Oh, that's rough.
To even use missiles, you have to point the Wii remote at the screen and hope it actually detects you're pointing at the screen, because there isn't a button to hit to make you go to first person to shoot missiles. It's literally just point the controller
Yeah.
and hope.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
I loved it because when you went into that mode and I went, is this Resident Evil dead aim?
Yeah, it has a little bit of that energy.
And I'm like,
Not as good.
yeah, I know. I watched you play and I went, dead aim is so much more of a functional, like, neat game, except for when the screen flashes too aggressively because it's a light gun game.
Yeah, that makes sense, being like a game. That's just how that technology works.
Yeah, I hate the fact that the Metroid Other M poster's just over here, so I just have to look at it.
Yeah, Bob was supposed to take it home, but
Yeah, because you said some shit of, get this away from me. This isn't funny anymore now that I played it.
That stopped being funny the second we finished that game. Let me put it this way. Other M is literally the only other Lords of Shadow I've ever fucking played.
Oh
Yeah.
no!
Yeah, it is that tier,
It
but
is-
it's actually in lore.
Yeah,
So
and
it
that's the
hurts.
problem, because
it's-
Konami can now move past Lords of Shadow. They can
Yeah.
pretend that never fucking happened.
I mean, you can pretend Other M happened. You just never mention it ever again.
Adam will be an eternal reminder.
That was from Fusion.
Fusion and Other M are the same game with different levels of budget.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you can pretend that you don't know what Adam did in Fusion,
such
so you can you can just never tell the audience who Adam was or what they did.
I'm sorry, there's going to be a codex entry that's...
Eventually, we can go back and write a different thing for Adam to have done.
Okay.
Pretend that the other M didn't happen. And be
I found the quote.
okay, good. Thank you, Dan.
Iwata goes, all right then, finally, do you have a message for the people who've been waiting eagerly for this game? Let's start with you, Kita Ura-san. Kita Ura-san, for people who don't realize, they handled the CG and a lot of the storyboard, like the entire storyboard for the entire game's cutscenes, and also handled a lot of the game's aspects. Kita Ura-san replies, sure, we wanted to implement the highest quality, possible quality of CG in this game. We've really tried to do, really tried our best to do so, but actually, I'd like players to pay attention to Samus's voice actress as well. Samus is a woman who is poor at coping with life's problems. As a result, we chose a voice actress not because she's technically proficient, but because she could talk naturally in her own words. And I'm like, yeah, that's Samus to me. A woman who's poor at coping with her own with life's problems.
You know?
Yep.
The way they said that, they're like, this is just like Silent Hill 2. That'll work for our game.
It was, just like Lords of Shadow was yet another experience where we finished the game where like that game soundtrack really isn't going to stick. There's not a whole lot other than the remixes of the older songs that we appreciated.
Yeah.
And then Bob goes, yeah, there are only like 10 songs in the game. I'm like, nah, Bob, this is going to be a Lords of Shadow situation. So let's going to look it up. The soundtrack is going to be 100 songs, like 80 songs. Because in my review of Lords of Shadow, I basically said the same thing, like forever ago. Mm-hmm. And then someone looks it up. They're like, there are 108 songs on the soundtrack.
Yeah, that's how this works with random orchestrated soundtracks that have basically no melodies.
and super budgets.
Yeah.
This was so expensive. No wonder Metroid died after this.
Yeah, it's so sad. This is honestly, like, we didn't go over it. This game looks immaculate for a Wii game.
Oh, yeah.
It's tragic.
It literally...
It kept confusing me when I would look back at the stream. I'm like, no, this is on the Wii, right? Like, this looks like it could be an early or even a couple years in 360 game.
Yeah. When you pulled it up on the TV for like setup, I'm like, this looks great.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it looks incredible. Like the shot, I'm trying to remember which one it was. It wasn't the Spazer, was it? I think it was Wave Beam.
Or Plasma or something.
Yeah, it had just had the most amazing animation, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to read one more quote and then talk about a major problem with it that was bugging the hell out of me. So this quote is the end of the interview, and it's terrible. It's horrible, right? Sakamoto says, I think the members of this collaboration were called by Samus herself. We empathize with her, and we gradually help to refine her. As a result, Samus is more beautiful than ever this time. Iwata goes, so it looks like more people will fall in love with Samus, does it? And Sakamoto says, yes, so earnestly, I think Samus is going to be a very happy girl.
I was talking to you, Dan, because there were comparisons to Motomo Toriyama with Lightning, and I'm like, no, I wish we had that. I wish we had someone who's just like, I like her. I think she's hot.
I think she's hot and strong as hell. And I'm like, yeah, I'll take you.
I'll take that over. I'm just gonna ruin her.
This whole game over a course of it was like, well, maybe he is like that guy. Oh no, he's not.
It's like, what's the worst thing that dude's like? I like playing dress up with her, and when the PS blog's like, here's every Final Fantasy creator. What's their favorite game? They pick one they didn't work on, except Toriyama.
Yep. It's fucking insane.
One of the crazier things about Other M is how big chunks of it, they just lifted completely from the Metroid manga from like 2002.
Oh,
except devoid of context that made anything in it even remotely okay. I think that manga still sucks, but when Samus has a PTSD attack over Ridley in that, she's 16 and it's the first time she saw him after he killed her parents, and she thought he was dead because she saw him melt.
Right. It's not, I've killed him 5 times.
Yeah, that's the thing that when this game came out, I heard everyone talking about was, Adam hasn't authorized me to take a shit, and why is she afraid of Ridley like this?
Yeah, this is after Super Metroid, which just seems wrong.
It's after Super and Original, and in Zero Mission, she even fights a Mecha Ridley. If you count Samus Returns now canonically, let's see. That's Ridley from 1, Mecha Ridley from Zero Mission. That's Ridley from the end of 2. There's Ridley from Super, and I don't think there's an extra Ridley in that.
And Daisy Ridley showed up.
In Super, you fight Ridley twice.
Oh, that's true. You do fight him twice, so
you're not afraid of him.
Yeah, that's 5 fucking times, including Samus Returns.
Yeah, at this point, really should be this guy again. Really?
When do you learn?
This time he's ripped, so maybe that's what really is. Like she didn't expect it.
Samus should really just say blow it out your ass at this point.
But yeah, he has like a flailing attack. That's all he can do.
It's true.
Yes.
He like does that fucking Yu Yu Hakusho thing from the Genkai tournament. Like where he just has a really buff arm and it gets buffer and he tries to clothesline Samus.
That was the funniest shit in the world. I can't believe I forgot about that part until we watched it.
Yeah, no, that shit stuck with me because he calls it like a bomber move or something, and that always killed me. I'm like, this is the dumbest shit in the world.
He's the master of all martial arts, and he's like, I make my arm really big and smelly, and I clothesline you.
I jack it with this one.
Yeah, so one aspect of Metroid Other M we haven't even touched on. Other M, in Fusion, you go to data rooms to download your power-ups. Now, I think that sucks because in other Metroid games, you get them from the planet and the place you're exploring. It's really cool. Like, even in Zero Mission, you get the super end-of-the-game suit, the Various suit, or actually, it's the Gravity suit at the end of that game, from Chozodian artifacts. In Fusion, you download them with a computer. Yeah. In Other M, Adam authorizes them, and every time he does, it's this. You're in a room. You can't solve the problem. You keep hitting your head against the problem. You then start to leave, and then Adam goes, yeah, I'm going to need you to solve that problem. You can run fast now.
Fuck off.
There were 3, I think, different times where an enemy was literally unkillable. So we just had to keep dodging until Adam authorized us to get a weapon to kill them.
Yeah, I'm literally the worst ever.
Yeah, I think this is the worst we give you power-ups so you feel cool in a video game ever.
Yeah. It's improbably bad. Like, how can you make this and not just be like, oh, I've screwed up?
This seems like a cruel Kyle Bosman joke of an idea.
Yeah, it's like they're trying to wrestle with that problem of she loses her powers at the start of every single game. And instead of just doing the normal thing of, I'm just collecting more as the game goes on, which is fun. They're like, no, she has all of them, but she hasn't, like, downloaded them yet.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, I would rather it be I'd rather you be contrived of it just falling out the way it happens with like Samus or like Sora, where it's like, no, you just reset. I'm sorry.
And that's the thing that really bugs me. You know, an absolutely top tier terrible writer when they're answering questions like that and worried about nitpicky, obsessive compulsive things about their lore instead of like any line of dialogue being good.
Like, you can worry about it and make it really simple instead of making it an overly laborious and complicated thing that ruins progression.
Just to be
throughout the game.
clear, I consider the prequels of the Star Wars films to be overly concerned with that element of things. Even they are not this suffocating.
This thing has a mystery plot where it's like, oh, there's a killer among us. But they don't do it.
Oh, yeah.
They just don't do it. They just are like, oh, we're done with that part. We're done.
Guys, like, I cannot stress how much what Bob said is literal. They do a murder mystery, and then they literally, in the text of the script, never solve it. It is to the point where apparently in Japan with some strategy guide or art book, they answered the mystery. Yeah. Now, if you're paying attention, you can figure it out. But the fact Samus doesn't say a word, not one word about, guess they were the murderer. Which she coins the term the deleter.
The deleter. Yeah, they have a whole arc about the deleter.
What the fuck? Is this like the ocean dub of Dragon Ball Z sending people to the next dimension?
The deleter was sent by the Federation to send us to the home for infinite losers.
They found possibly the worst voice actress ever.
Oh, they did.
Them in an interview going, don't worry, we did it on purpose.
Yeah.
Well, that was for the Japanese one. Who knows what they got with this English one?
Yeah, Sakamoto apparently did hands-on, like, with the localization, and according to many people, made it worse.
Oh, good.
Which, to be fair, I played Fusion. The writing's bad in that, too. Like, I don't think this is going to be some golden egg in Japan. It's just going to be slightly worse. But there's a 40-minute YouTube video detailing all the localization changes. And I'm like, cool, I'll check that out when I have time.
That's obscene when you have 40 minutes of it.
Yeah, because there are so many cutscenes in this.
Yeah,
this thing's
constant.
huge. It's nonstop. It's truly terrible. Like, this may be the only Nintendo franchise that got a truly 7th gen AAA game. I cannot think of one other game they produced that was 7th gen core as fuck. Except for, Devil's Third, but we're not going to talk about Devil's Third.
Devil's Third has a lot more joy than this.
Yeah, that one's funny.
Devil's Third is delightful. I really am sad that we lost that Given Games a chance for that, because holy shit did that.
Yeah.
What an amazing experience.
I know. Phil Spencer should buy them and make Devil's Fourth.
100%.
Yep.
That would be the most positive news to come out about Microsoft in a while if they just greenlit that immediately. But yeah, no, this is insane. I'm really glad Nintendo didn't do this with every franchise. I cannot believe after all these years, because it's been like 10 years since Lords of Shadow came out. 10, 12 years.
Uh-huh.
I can't believe I finally found another franchise that got one.
And it was also the same time period, about 10 or 11 years ago that this happened.
Uh-huh.
God.
Yeah, truly heinous. Truly heinous.
It was literally happening 2 houses down.
Also, I find it especially funny that Sakamoto has been involved with the series this whole time as in some sort of capacity. And it's like Super Metroid, people often call it a reboot or remake of 1, even though it has a 3 in the intro. And I get it. But Fusion Other M is literally that. How does this keep happening? Imagine they made a Super Mario RPG 2 and it's literally the same plot as 1.
That'd be pretty funny.
It comes out like 2 years later on the N64 and has a bunch of terrible control ideas.
And it's like, oh man, look, it's Mac in 3D.
What are you talking about? He was always 3D, pre-rendered, but still.
Oh yeah. No, I don't want to imagine like N64 Balome or Yuridovich.
You don't? Oh, that's tragic.
Because it'll just look like the concept 3D renders they made, and that's just horrifying.
It is. Yeah. Yeah, so Other M is I did not realize that poster's gone now. No one who watches any of our content needs to worry about it ever again.
It's literally 3 feet in front of me.
It's okay. It's not in the room where we live stream.
Right? No, it's not.
And if for fuck's sake it doesn't rain one goddamn day this week, Bob can take you home.
Yeah.
And then it will no longer be here.
Yeah, Bob needs to protect it.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, because I was going to burn it.
Yeah,
Because
literally,
that's-
if this podcast takes too long, I might get bored and light it on fire. For fun.
Metroid Month was really fun. It's a shame it ended on Other M.
Hey, it gets to end on Dread.
That's true. It does officially end on Dread, but this period, because
Yes.
we did Other M on like Sunday, right?
Uh-huh.
This period where a number of people came out of that stream where they're now concerned about Dread.
Yeah.
Because Sakamoto's involved. I'm like, I really wish we did Samus Returns at the end. Oh, God.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. But
Yeah.
hey, here we are.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, people will know within 24 hours.
This is the number one argument for playing games in chronological release over canonical chronological.
Yeah, release order always wins.
Always.
I enjoy the concept of chronological fictional, and that helps you get story elements as they come, even though Samus Returns, introduces things that don't get introduced till Fusion or later. Yeah. What a fucking mistake. Anyways, that's basically all I can talk about that I played this week. Bob, did you play anything else?
Yeah. Did we want to go into my demo roundup, or do you want to do the Final Fantasy Origins thing?
You know what? Metroid fired some neurons. We don't want to couple that with the other thing that'll fire neurons. So go ahead and go into demo round.
Yes.
Yeah.
We had the Steam Next Fest where I got to play tons of demos.
Oh boy.
Okay, I'm going to be greedy. Bob, tell me about the Happy Life or the Good Life.
The Good Life, I did not end up playing much of that one because I played like 20 minutes. I was like, yeah, this is starting a whole game. This is just the beginning. I don't want to do this again when it comes out.
Yeah, that's fair.
It seemed neat.
That's
It's definitely
fair.
not controller support fully yet.
Oh, interesting. Because
Yeah,
it is
they're-
shipping on console.
Right?
If I remember correctly, it's going to be on Game Pass. I'm going to look this up to be sure. Yeah, that's going to be on Game Pass when it releases on the
Then
15th or
I'll
whatever.
actually play it then.
Yeah. I was going to buy it regardless, but since I have how many months left? I guess 8 months left of Game Pass. I might as well use it.
Yeah, I'm not sweary pilled at all, so.
Yeah.
The beginning seemed really neat. That lots of weird things going on in this town. You play as a reporter from America who's named Naomi and in a British town.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure it's going to be fine.
Yeah, all the trailers are marvelous.
Yeah, that
I
last
remember.
trailer.
I remember the very first trailer having her be like, "The food in Britain fucking sucks. There isn't anything here. I wish I was dead."
But I can, for the ones I actually played a decent chunk of.
Mm-hmm.
The first one I played, Blind Fate, Edo no Yami. So this is a 2.5D cyberpunk themed samurai action side-scrolling game.
Okay.
Has one very special thing. All the enemies are invisible, so you don't see them at all until you hit them. You have to keep hitting them to keep them visible.
Oh.
That doesn't sound like a good idea.
It is not fun at all.
Oh, no!
You also have a stamina bar tied to your attacks.
Oh no!
Okay, now that is terrible.
Yes.
What was the name of this again?
Blind Fate, Edo no Yami.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I just want to look at pictures. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. It also teases you with having a cool cyberpunk setting at the beginning, and then you realign your memories and realize you're 500 years past that, so it's all just a wasteland,
Oh.
and it's kind of lame.
Oh.
Yeah. It also has one of the most laughable QTEs I've ever seen.
Okay.
So you can get them in like a stun state and do a killing QTE, and your character does 2 really slow slashes, and then slowly grabs the back of the enemy's head and pulls his big blaster arm up to it, shoots them, and their head pops up like a Rock'em Sock'em robot.
I don't know. That sounds great.
It looks so janky. I wish that I was playing these on console so I could record this easily. because I don't really have anything set up on my PC to do that.
Right. You don't have shadow play.
I tried to do pictures of it, which I posted to Twitter. Let me. Even the pictures really cracked me up. Let's see here. I posted a link to my Twitter in the Big Think document so you guys can see how that looks in each state. There's not much animation between them.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Yeah, the whole background goes black as you do these horrible looking things.
I mean, I guess it's better than Days Gone where a QTE happens, but I can't see where the button is.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's real dire.
That looks great. I don't know what you're talking about.
I didn't even finish this.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, that's understandable.
All right. Then I had a good one. Young Souls.
I'm out.
What is this, Muppet Babies, but with Gwen?
Place to sun.
It's actually nothing like a Dark Souls game.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
cool.
okay.
So this is a side-scrolling beat 'em up where you play as like these two twins who are going into a dungeon under their town that's infested with goblins and other monsters. So you get to like equip them with gear. It has a bunch of RPG elements, and a ton of story. Like it lets you play it really quickly at the beginning, but then it just like goes into hardcore. You're going to walk around this town and learn stuff mode, and it's pretty well told. It's animated super well. Like the backgrounds are 3D and the characters are 2D, and they're animated kind of a Flash-esque style where each part moves, but they do it really fluidly. And then every time you get new gear and equipment, it actually sits on your character like appropriately. There's also a sneaker shop in town you can go to, and secretly they have a goblin working there who builds them super sneakers. It's really good. So yeah, I definitely am excited to play more of this. It seems really neat. The dungeon seems set up in a way where it's not randomly generated, but just, okay, you're exploring this dungeon and there's a set pass to go through for each part of the dungeon, and you get a key from the end of one pass and you go down different paths like that. And it's not a ton of different exploration as much as just it's combat beat 'em up rooms. But yeah, it's really neat. You also get more weapons. Like you start with just a sword and shield, but it seems like I've got double or daggers. I'm assuming there's going to be more than just those two as well. But yeah, that looked really cool. Definitely check out Young Souls.
Is it YUNG?
No,
I've been
No,
thinking
it's-
I've been holding back.
I'm
it's
sorry.
just they are young.
Oh,
You play as these two young twins who are like in high school. I don't think they know how high school buses work, whoever made this game. 'Cause they get on the high school bus, and then there are other people on there, like the mayor.
What?
And then they stop at the school, and they don't get off there. They're like, "Yeah, we're just taken to a different stop in the city." It's like, what are you talking about? That's not how a school bus works.
That's a city bus.
Yeah, it's very strange. But you get a moped.
Bob,
Oh, man.
Bob, I gotta ask, did it look like a school bus, or was it?
It looked like a school bus. It was
Okay,
yellow like
okay,
a school
I got-
bus and everything.
I got nothing.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be calling it out if it was just a normal bus. Like, whatever, they could take a bus. Who
It's like it's a
cares?
school bus. It's blue.
Yeah, they're going to prison. But yeah, it seems like you'll be able to go to the town, upgrade your characters there in some ways. Like you can sell junk and you can get sneakers. And then you can go to the goblin foundry where they can craft weapons for you and armors. And then the main dungeon for goblins is run by a good goblin, it seems like, and there's bad ones inside the other dimension dungeon that's under the town. It's crazy.
So I have to ask, how similar or dissimilar to that Netflix series is this, where it's cops and orcs?
I have no idea. I've not watched the second.
Oh,
of
okay,
that.
that's good. That's good.
Oh, what, Bright?
Wasn't
Yes,
it?
right.
Yeah, wasn't that a movie with Will Smith?
Yes.
No, that's a TV series.
No, it's a movie.
That's a movie?
That is a movie. We should watch Bright. I've heard it's the worst.
That did not look high budget enough to be a
It had Will Smith, so I assumed it was a movie. But you know.
Oh my god, it is a movie.
Yeah.
I watched part of it and I stopped watching before I realized it was a movie and not a TV series. It does not look expensive enough for a movie, I swear.
Great. But yeah, the goblins are a secret. in this. They're not like living in the normal world. There's only that one goblin who hangs out in the sneaker shop who they keep under the counter to make them sneakers.
All right.
Next.
Critadel. That's like crit,
Like
critical,
Citadel,
within
but critical.
Yes.
Yeah. I
Get
get
it?
Yeah, I get it.
Hey.
This is a roguelike twin stick shooter with lots of biblical references, like you're in the Tower of Babel. They talk about some Noah stuff, and you play as a robot, and you have guns,
Okay.
and you shoot other robots, and it's all roguelike. So you go through, and if once you die, you go back to the beginning and lose all your guns. It only lets you do one stage run on this demo. This game seems really bad.
Yeah, I was like, at some point he's gonna lift up his voice a little bit. And he's gonna be like, "But it's real fun," and I'm like,
This game is not made to work with the controller right at all.
"Oh no!"
You know how in a twin stick you can do fine adjustments to aiming?
Yeah.
No, it just hard locks on enemies.
Oh god, this
If
is
you
so
want
bad.
if you want to actually aim, you have to use mouse and keyboard.
Oh, that's really frustrating. That's not how a twin stick should work at all.
No, it's really bad. I don't know why they made this the way they did, but it's Nicholas, so I guess I shouldn't expect too much.
Oh, of course.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's all pixel art graphics. They look kind of bad. There are not enough frames for any animation in it ever. Yeah. Moving on. Lumine. I don't know. It's Lumine.
I'm going to say Lemoyne, like groin.
Luminomi and cheese.
So this is Celeste, but it's underwater, and you play as an underwater fairy, but it plays like Celeste, and that's it.
Okay.
It doesn't play as well as Celeste, though.
This apparently
Of
comes
course
out in
not.
6 days on the Switch. I assume it's probably simultaneous with PC.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's got a kind of neat art style, and it looks nice, but it feels really floaty, and it's pretty boring. I honestly ended up skipping the story for it because it just was going so slow.
Yeah, I see a lot of areas that look nothing like Celeste, and then other areas that look incredibly like Celeste.
Yeah, and that's most of the game. I think
Okay.
there are a few in there that trick you at the beginning, but then everything else is just it's single rooms where there's like you can get instead of a strawberry, whatever their equivalent is, and you can also just get to the end of the room. Yeah, it's that.
Cool.
Afterthought.
Okay, afterthought?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you said actor thought. Okay, what's the deal with this?
This is a 2D platformer that's heavily focused on having tons and tons of moves for your character. Like you can do double jumps. You have an attack where if you punch something, it'll reset your double jump. You also have an air dash. If you air dash into the ground, you'll do a slide. If you slide off of a ramp, you'll fly farther. Honestly, there's so many mechanics they put in, and they let you do half of the tutorial before doing the main game. So I tried the main game. It was like, yeah, there's like 12 other things you should be doing. So I went back to tutorials. Every tutorial is incredibly long and boring and bad. So I couldn't get into it.
Oh no.
One of those games where it suffocates under its tutorial that takes forever.
Yeah,
This looks like a way more unhinged version of like maybe Dust Force
Yes,
Yeah,
I could see
is
that.
something that I think about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like they could really have benefited by having fewer mechanics because it is dense.
Yeah, I'm
in a
looking
way
at
that's
it.
not even fun at some point because moving around the world is kind of fun, but you've added so many things to it that it just becomes a burden. Like, oh, there's these one kind of block you can punch in the air to reset yourself, but there's this other kind of block where you need to block in the air to continue from it. It's like that's just unnecessary. Other than that, it looked neat. Maybe they'll do another game sometime and it'll be good.
Is this out or is this coming out soon?
I'm not sure. I
Okay,
think
it
it's
looks
soon.
like November 30th is early access for it.
Okay, now a game we've heard about for years.
Oh.
I was very excited to play a demo of Tunic.
Oh, thank God. I thought he was going to say
Oh.
Metal Hellsinger.
No, they didn't put a demo out. They aren't even in that.
Don't fucking speak its name.
But yeah, I've been seeing this at shows and things constantly and thinking, yeah, that looks cool. It's like you play as a little furry character, and it has a sort of like isometric view Zelda 1 style game. This game sucks.
Damn it!
Oh,
Why?
that does usually seem to how it be. That usually seems to be how it goes.
Instead of just being a Zelda-like game, this game is instead looks like Zelda, but is Dark Souls.
Oh, God!
So the dungeon they let me play had no puzzles, period. None.
Why?
All you had, the closest thing to a puzzle are backtrack sections of like, oh, I unlocked this bridge. And that's not a puzzle at all. But that's what I'm going to pretend.
The puzzle is why they made this fucking shitty game.
You have a stamina bar, of course. Yeah,
Sorry.
the only things I got were weapons. Like I got a sword, a stick, and I think a bomb. But even the bombs I just ran out of, so they weren't puzzle mechanics at all. There was one direction I go in that had a super hard boss. Obviously, if I got good, I could beat him. And then the other direction where I just continue through the dungeon, which was just combat rooms, and that was it. This is really bad, and I've not been more disappointed in an indie game in a long time.
I'm very sad.
That's unfortunate.
I looked at that from a distance and went, that shows up a lot. I hear that name come up a lot.
Yeah, I was pretty interested in this.
Yeah, I was super excited, and then I find out, it's just Dark Souls. There are even shrines that have like bonfire in front of them that you heal at, and at the time it changes, and it's like,
come on, people! That game is over a decade old now. It's time to move on.
No. So on an up note, I then played Transruby. Transruby? I'm not sure how you're supposed to say it. Because the character in it is named Sirubi.
Okay, spell this.
It's TranSiruby.
Transiruby. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Whatever, you played it.
This game's pretty cool. It's got an art style kind of like Cave Story, and this is very much a Metroid-like game.
Okay.
You play as this little robot girl. They do a really funny thing for it's the first game of the series. You don't need a reason for your character to lose all your powers at the beginning, right? But you're on your space station, and then you launch down to the planet to start the game. She lands, it looks perfectly normal, and she's like, I've broken literally everything in my body.
Yeah!
That's really good.
And so your guy in the space station says, okay, I'll send down things. They'll collect stuff from the planet and put them in different parts of the planet.
That's good.
to give you your powers back. You immediately get a freeze ray.
Okay, all right.
The freeze ray is also kind of like missiles because you have a limited amount and you get power-ups that increase the amount you can hold.
Oh.
And so a lot of platforming is done like that. It seems like it's going to have a pace of just slowly giving you these powers like you get to more parts of the world. It's a typical Metroid style layout. But you play as this little robot with a melee attack as the main attack of swinging a sword. And it's really neat. I like this a lot.
Cool. Yeah, it looks really nice.
Yeah, I really like the art style. It ran super smooth. I hope it comes to consoles too, but I don't know if it's actually scheduled to do that. I might have to pick this up on
It's coming
Steam.
out on Switch, but I don't know when. I can't suss that out for some reason. Having real difficulty. One moment.
One of the power-up they showed was you can turn into a motorcycle eventually, and I got really hype.
Do you super run into turning into the motorcycle or what?
It seems like you just hit a button, then it grows wheels.
Okay, so there's a trailer that went out for the Switch in 2018 saying it was coming out in 2019.
Clearly that didn't happen.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any footage. That's why it's so confusing looking this up. You Google this, and it's like, yeah, that came out in 2019. I'm like, did it? I see no evidence that it did. Thank you, Google, for answering this question I never asked incorrectly.
Oh, you're welcome.
I'm hopeful. Anyways, I need more money for Stadia, and I'm like, no! I emailed you about this.
They're like, you don't know how to get rid of it, so I guess you'll pay us forever.
Yeah, it's so sad that every time I contacted them, hit a dead end, and now it's like, okay, I'm going to tell my bank to block Google.
I was about to say, you're going to have to change banks.
This is fucking ridiculous. These Goddamn assholes. Hey, Bob, did you play anything else?
Yeah, of course. We're not done yet.
Ah, jeez.
It's like he hit me with a stick.
So, American Theft 80s. I downloaded this because the pictures made it look like it was going to be a GTA knockoff, and I wanted to play a random GTA knockoff by some person on Steam.
I was about to
Yeah.
say, did this come out in 1999 on the PlayStation?
Instead, this is an asset store stealth game.
What?
That's like when I learned Vampire Ray was a stealth game.
Yeah, it was very unexpected. You play as a thief of some sort sneaking into people's houses. It's really bad. The stealth is hilarious because it'll be like this person seeing you. They are completely stealth. Like they don't move at all. Just like he's hearing you. He's doing it right now. He's basically T-posing at the bottom of the stairs.
Oh no!
Later on, I got caught by a cop. I did the QTE to escape from him, knocked him on the ground, and it's like then it said you're arrested.
Bob, I think this sounds like what indie hell material.
Yeah, it really was. I tried to load my save and it crashed the whole game.
Jesus.
Victory Heat Rally Shakedown.
Oh, we're just moving. Okay.
Yes, I'm like,
Sure.
I'm done.
Sure. Say that title again.
Victory Heat Rally Shakedown. This was suggested by one of the people on Twitter. I
Like a viewer, or just a
yes.
random person on Twitter?
I assume they're a viewer. I tweeted out, hey, this is my roundup. Let me know if there's anything I'm missing. And this is what someone threw at me.
Okay.
This seemed okay. The demo is super limited. It's like obviously going for a Mario Kart style racing game where you have drifting. Your cars are 2D, but the backgrounds are 3D. But this literally didn't let me race against other people at all, like other characters even. It let me drive one car. I could go through tutorials or I could do a time trial. It's weirdly limited. I have to wonder how far this game is away. Because that was like kind of worrying. Like, do they have car AR working at all? But it was fun from what I played. It had some really good music too. And then another Twitter suggestion:
Okay.
Fire Girl Hack and Splash Rescue.
Way forward, make this?
This sounds like a toy set sold to me in the 90s or aughts. Like, I don't...
So this is made in Unreal. It uses 2D characters on 3D backgrounds. It runs really bad. You basically play as a firefighter. You go into burning buildings, knock out fires, which are actually monsters. Like they're yelling at you and stuff. And you can jump with your fire hose and jump higher. You can run out of water, and then you have less pressure to put out the fires. And you're trying to rescue people. If you fail at any point during the mission's just over, and whoever you didn't save dies, and then you go on to the next mission. Yeah. It feels really bad to play. It's not good at all in any way. There's messages like text boxes it puts in the world in 3D, so it'll put up next to your character. And then if something in the foreground, it'll just cover it. So you can't even read it. Like if you're going through a doorway, you just can't read whatever's said in the dialogue. It's really bad. Don't play this.
Okay.
Then there's two games that both me and Field played. Field, which one do you want to talk about first?
Let's talk about Postal Brain Damage.
What?
So this is a boomer shooter spin-off of Postal. And the plot is that the Postal dude in this game, voiced by Corey Cruz, who is the Postal dude in Postal 3, and also is the eviler Postal dude in Postal 2 Paradise Lost, the DLC they made for Postal 2 after Postal 3 bombed. I guess the conceit is that he's in a mental institution and has brain damage and is hallucinating boomer shooter levels. What? And it plays like we have Doom Eternal at home.
You get the meat hook and everything. It's Doom Eternal, but there's two enemies.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I assume there will be more in the final game.
Yeah, three.
This is very... I think mechanically it feels pretty good, but that level's trash.
Yeah, it's hard to get over how bad the level is. It's a ton of, like, you're in suburbia. There's just a ton of almost the exact same house you can go into on this big street.
Yeah, that have like one thing of ammo or something.
Yeah. You have a mechanic where you reflect bullets by timing like a block. It's really weird. I used it once.
Yeah, I assume there will be points in the game because the only enemies it really works on are these dudes with shotguns. But there's not a ton of enemies in this demo because it's the first level, obviously. So I assume at some point you'll be surrounded by guys and it'll be cool to do that, but it isn't in this demo.
Yeah, and this level is huge. Like, did you get that sense of like
gigantic.
it wouldn't end?
Once I stopped going in the houses and just started progressing straight down the street, it wasn't that big. Plus, that they really want you to like Quake move because you have a slide it's like a dash.
Yeah,
and if you jump while sliding, you like launch. So I bound the slide to one of my mouse buttons and was just and you basically Quake bunny hop. You like strafe hop and move at the speed of sound. So that helped a lot, but it's pretty big. Like it's cartoonishly huge.
yeah. Like I started skipping the houses after a while, but then it just felt like it kept going. And there's almost nothing interesting it was doing. They introduced the hooks that you can eventually use. It was like you're doing something kind of neat here, but that was about it. And then the rest of it's just this is sure edgy humor from the 90s. He says the same joke 100 times. Every time he shoots someone, he says a joke, and there's only like 5.
Yeah, that's like that. Yeah, it's a Postal game.
Yeah,
But
I
Bob-
feel like in normal Postal games, at least what I played, you don't shoot as many people.
I mean, you're not playing Postal correctly.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you there. You should be shooting people and pissing on them. I don't.
Oh yeah, you got the power up that turns his piss into fire.
Yeah, that's a Postal thing.
Oh, is that adorable? Jesus.
Yeah.
It's usually like a thing you unlock after beating it, but yeah.
Okay, Bob, were there any stunning moments of sobriety from our main character where they just go, "Why am I doing this? This is gross."
Not that I noticed.
That's
Only
unfortunate.
good part of that game.
It really is.
The postal dude has always had that element where like even in 2, if you get arrested, he'll say like, "Book the kid with the keyboard."
He did it.
So I'm really glad you played this, Bob.
Yeah, this is kind of miserable.
I'm going to buy it when it comes out in the hopes that they made decent levels with this game that is mechanically sound.
Also, the shotgun felt too weak.
It killed most things in one shot. You just had to get up their ass.
You have to be way too close because I'm like if I'm within like a couple feet, I feel like you should die. And instead, it was like most things ended up taking 2 shotgun shots. And then that like dogs that get right on top of you, sometimes they take forever. Like there's a super dog.
I found the super dog. I found a rocket launcher and just shot him with the holy hand grenade attachment for it and blew him to pieces.
Yeah.
That dog's scary, especially since he has it's like a dog. It's like a giant dog with his doghouse on his back.
Yes.
And he gets into like a fury state if you damage him enough. The doghouse like explodes and is like impaling him, and he just comes for you. But yeah, with the shotgun, it feels like they really want you to meat hook into people and then shoot them like once you're up in their nostrils.
Yeah, maybe that's the deal. Because it really wasn't working for me. Trying to just use like a normal shotgun and like dodge around, shoot them from, pretty close. What I saw was plenty close, but clearly the game didn't.
You were wrong.
Anything else you want to say about Postal Brain Damage before we move on to Fallen Aces?
What?
No, I'm done.
Okay.
What?
So Fallen Aces, I didn't expect this to be a stealth game, but we've seen it in a few conferences, 1950s style like detective thing.
Yeah, it's got like old comic book style.
It's like the first person melee New Blood game.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that looking cool.
Yeah, it looks somewhere between an old comic book like Dick Tracy and Archer.
Yeah. Yes.
And Bob says stealth, but I deliberately played on the hardest difficulty while aggroing every single person, and it's entirely doable.
Yeah, I believe it, but there's like a lot of all the mechanics seem focused around like that because it felt like more like a thief game of having a darkness meter and things like that. So you can just sort of hide from them and do like Speed Racer styles karate chops to knock people out.
Yeah, that's pretty funny actually.
Maybe because you played it like that. Maybe you got more out of the melee combat than I did. Because I honestly, so watching the trailers for this, I thought this would be something like Fight Night where I have a ton of moves and it feels good. And instead of like,
I assume you'll get more,
Yeah,
because different weapons have there is stuff like if an enemy's knocked down, they'll always die when you hit them with a weapon.
right.
So there was times where like 40 guys would be coming at me, and so it'd be like, okay, I'll save this propane tank and throw it at them and jib like half of them, and then I'll pick up a garbage can and throw it at the one that has the lead pipe, and throwing a trash can at somebody will always knock them down. So I can just run up and smack them, and they're down for sure. And you get a gun from the boss of the stage, so I assume there'll also be like limited use firearms.
Right. When I got to the end of the stage, my power went out. Was there any more to the demo than that one stage?
No.
Oh, okay.
There was. Yeah, it's just the first stage.
Okay, it was because I got to the
like
girl,
that you're
and that was it.
I like that your mission operator is like the gray ghost from that one episode of Batman the Animated Series.
Yes, that's kind of neat.
The voice actor, I really like the voice actor for the protagonist. I think he does really good deliveries of his noir-esque lines. Get Gianni on Twitter is in the game as a dude shitting his brains out in a toilet stall.
Oh yeah, I did see them go through the voice direction for it on Discord. It was very good.
I solved this by kicking the door of the stall open and braining the guy.
Yeah, I did not find the toilet actually.
Yeah, there's like it seems like this game is also gonna have side objectives because in that same bathroom there's like a book of evidence hidden.
Huh.
And it seems like there might be different objectives that you can get.
Yeah, like it was like all those weird little things like that make me think of it more of like that thief sort of game than just
it seems like it'll be a
shooter.
slightly more aggressive thief because this isn't even the only thief-like game New Blood is making. They're also making Gloomwood, which you get to by putting in the URL thief with guns.
Yeah, I remember that. I did not check that one out though.
I think that one's not even a timed one. It's just
Love those
can just do
websites he used, not bloodborne.com or whatever.
But yeah, I'm excited to play this one when it comes out. Because even if it doesn't like progress a whole lot, if it's like 4 hours long, like that'll be like a decent indie game.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not as into it, but I like to see the appeal here for sure. It's not like Postal Brain Damage where I'm like, this is probably gonna be really bad. But yeah, Fallen Aces seems like neat. It wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting like a lot more stuff to do melee combat wise, because it's really just like you have a couple punches and you have a kick, but you don't. The only other thing you do is crouch and punch them in the groin.
You can stun them and do an instant kill, which can get more than one enemy if they're all bunched together.
Okay.
Like he has two. The two in the demo that I saw was he has like a super uppercut that launches them into the sky, or he does like a whirlwind kick that actually spins your view around when he does it.
Yeah, I did those, but I was, fighting one guy at once, so I didn't know they could affect more.
This is the most unhinged Twitter has ever been.
What's up, Dan?
You know those egg discs I get? The ones that are microwavable in that tray?
Oh, okay.
Yes.
It literally is showing me a fucking ad for that. I'm like, what did I say near my phone this time? Egg disc?
Yeah, because it can't be just egg. We say that all the time.
Maybe it is that. Maybe it's just like these motherfuckers have said the word egg 4,000 times. Show them shit fucking ads for eggs.
Hell yeah, let's go.
Yeah, that's insane. Hey, Bob.
Hey.
I look forward to checking out Fallen Aces when it ships.
Uh-huh.
I'm not a huge demo guy nowadays because time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was cool getting you two talking about it, just for people to have a heads up on that, because I thought that looked great when they showed it.
Right.
That was like my one of my games of whatever show that showed up in.
Yeah.
PC gaming show?
I think that was the one it showed up in, which is why I have more faith
I think
in
it was
that.
the one with Troy Baker.
One of the nightmare ones where it's like my brain has cast you into the pit.
I can't remember what those are called. Future Game Show, that's it.
Yeah.
God, those are bad.
But anything else, Bob? Any other demo?
That's all the demos.
Great. You lied though.
What's
You
up?
did.
You said there were two games that you and Feel both played. I think Feel has also played Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origins.
But I was talking
Part
about the
2.
demos.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, he was talking about the two demos we both played. But
yeah,
I
Bob
also
was talking
played-
about the demos, not the demo.
Yeah, I know.
I'm like,
Oh,
what
yeah.
the fuck is the
Jesus.
delineation here?
The Steam Next Fest demo.
I was talking about the bargain bin at the fucking Walmart.
Exactly.
I found this in a Big Lots.
Phil and I both ate muffins from the fucking bakery too old about to expire pile.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I ripped off the part that clearly had mold on it, so I'll just eat the rest. It's all good.
Okay, but that's it for games overall, right, Bob?
Other than the Final Fantasy Origin,
Then
yes.
we're gonna launch into that because that's all three of you guys, right?
As far as I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chaos.
Chaos. They added 2 weapons. I'm to understand over the prior demo, right?
They
3, I
added, we got monk fists. We got like a shield and sword looking thing. What else did they have in that?
You got the daggers.
Oh yeah, you got daggers.
Oh, and the daggers, yeah.
And they made it so like some weapons like feed into other classes now. So like when I looked at skill trees for certain ones, they're like it can become this and also this if you like go over here. And
Yeah, so it's not weapons that feed in other classes. It's some classes you need to level up 2 classes to unlock 1 class.
Yeah, which is something that Final Fantasy 14 used to do, where they're like, if you want this, get this other thing to 15. I'm like, this is terrible. Why would you do it? Here, it makes sense.
I mean, this is something they've been doing time immemorial. Like, this has been Tactics.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's reminding me of Tactics right now.
Okay. Yeah, I have not played Tactics, so
Oh,
was not.
Tactics is really good. Hopefully someday they release a way to play it on a modern platform that runs smoothly.
Yes.
I'm probably
Well,
going to emulate
if we believe that Nvidia leak, there's a remaster coming.
That would be really smart.
It
That
would.
game is superb.
But yeah,
I just had a thought, and I'm not sure if I should say it.
They should do stunning next gen visuals, but leave the sound design the same. So that way, when I hit someone with a rock and it just barely kills them, they go ah. It's a really good sound.
Do?
That's the sound of people dying, right?
Yeah, that's them dying, and then you get to level up.
but yeah, we got those new weapons, those new classes. The same mission from before is available, where you go to kill Chaos, but then they added an additional level and some cutscene stuff. The most important thing I feel like they added was now you can press a button to make your AI like hit harder. And when
Become useful at all?
yes. So when I fought Garland again, and you hit that part where he gets the ice sword, I hit those buttons a little bit beforehand, and then I shot the fire, and it stunned him. And then my party members deleted his entire second stamina bar. Like they just kept hitting him, and I'm like, the second phase was done in 40 seconds. Like I didn't have to basically do anything, which that felt pretty good. And then they showed off this new level after introducing the other character, Neon, a female party member who said, "Yeah, chaos isn't real. It's like it's not a concept. I turned myself into chaos, hoping that maybe if I prayed to become chaos and someone killed me, that will like end this cycle. Chaos isn't a real thing." And then Jack says bullshit and then plays a Limp Bizkit song and walks down the entire castle while playing it.
Yeah, except nobody else can hear it because he has AirPods in.
Yes.
I'm glad they're really executing on making this the dumbest Final Fantasy.
Yeah, they've done a great job there. And then you do your second stage, which is a Final Fantasy 13 level that even played the Sun with Waterscape in like a new version of it, and it has like you activate this node, it's going to make it rain. That's going to change the level layout to where things are getting flooded or unflooded, or vines are going to grow or ungrow.
Yeah,
vines look exactly like the vines in Neo 2.
Yeah.
I had a little bit of a stroke watching that trailer when they cut to the room, and I'm like, that's 13, isn't it? How do you go from 1 to 13? Holy shit.
It seems like because somebody from 13 is in this in a really high position. It might even be director.
Wasn't a composer came over for this? Am I wrong?
At the very least,
There's some other person. So it seems like it's just like specifically 13-2, which that dungeon is from.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like it might just be like, I worked on both these games, so here's a reference to that.
But yeah, of course, the
like
13
rather than something
composer.
rather than something that you can like take from the story is my point.
Yeah, like it has some like aesthetics and some ideas. And also the fact that it has one of the composers that did the sequels and stuff, where it's like, yeah, no shit that's the same like sound font.
Yeah.
and
Oh, yeah.
and vibe that they're going for.
It's definitely the same fucking sound. It's real good. I've mentioned it on podcasts before. I fucking love that soundtrack for 13 and 13 too.
Oh yeah, and this similarly sounds really great. I forgot how much I like this soundtrack when you fight Garland again and you hit that second phase and it's this 13 composer remixing that boss theme from 1, and I'm like, God, this is real good.
13's timeline is so fucked up. This could probably fit in it.
Yeah, probably.
I'm being very generous saying that 13 has a timeline and a through line.
Yes.
Yeah, Lightning Return kind of ended that, but fair.
Let's pretend that Lightning Returns made perfect sense in the timeline of all 3, and all the endings make sense. In 13 too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So I played through this mainly doing Monk and Dragoon, and then when I went through the second level again with the shield and sword style that eventually becomes like a knight. And I was hoping with these types of games that I have at least 1 or 2 weapon types that I enjoy. I like the Monk and the sword and shield a shit ton, and I'm just feeling like I'm liking almost everything weapon wise in this game. Especially Monk, because the punches feel like gunshots.
I got almost every class to level 30.
I did not do that. I also did not. I also did not finish the side mission that is fight some enemy gates and go into this boss room and fight both stages bosses in a row.
Yeah, I did that on the hardest difficulty.
I didn't play this demo at all because it came out during a week where I streamed for 60 hours.
Understandable. I woke up and people went, there's a demo and a trailer, and I'm like, I guess I'll just slurp this up real quick and then get back to other things.
Yeah, I also went through the demo pretty extensively. I beat that extra level. I didn't do it on the harder difficulty.
Oh, yeah.
I did get some of the classes to level 30. I think really just the sword fighter. And
yeah, I think I got like sword fighter, dragoon, and monk to 30, and then kind of picked around with some of the other ones, but I'm like, I'm going to really dig into it when it's actually out. So I don't need to be as extensive, but I wanted to at least, get through that second level a couple of times. Yeah.
Every class seems really good except Red Mage, which is garbage.
Yeah, Red Mage does seem like it's just not done.
Yeah.
Just total trash. It has nothing.
Yeah, the way you described it makes it seem like, there's no real need for this to exist, because it has stuff from
It has
Black and White
it's like
Mage, right?
It's like Final Fantasy V. You have fire. You have the first level of fire, ice, and thunder, and then you have the first level of some White Mage spells, and not even cure. You have like protect, shell, haste, and regen.
Yeah, like
the part where it seems broken is they give you a tutorial that said you have multicasting. You don't seem to actually have that.
No, you have multicasting. It's useless because each one still takes a bar.
That's dumb.
Yeah, that doesn't really work in this game, especially because if you die, you're reset to 2 MP bars until you crunch through a few enemies again. I could have seen this like having some use if it lets you have multiple like spell levels. If you're like, because you have 2 classes at once and you can just hit triangle to swap them out. I could see that if it's like, I'm gonna have one solely physical thing, and then this will be like my magic alt, but the fact that it's 1 level and multicast works like that makes me go, I would just rather run a black mage or run a white mage and run whatever.
Yeah, white mage is really good because white mage has multiple levels of spells, so you max out cure to Curaga, and cure takes 2 bars, it doesn't only take 1, but that heals your party, heals everybody.
What?
Sense.
Cure on the white mage, if you charge it to Curaga, heals everybody, but it takes 2 bars.
Yeah, I might try and run something like that since the team is actually useful now.
That's also what happens if you max the buffs, because it also has cure, it also has regen, shell, protect, haste. If you max those, it gives them to everybody. It also has a holy spell. So Reg Mage just seems totally useless in comparison, especially compared to Black Mage, which gets Flare and Comet.
Yeah, I didn't do much of the spell. The spell stuff, because I was just all excited about I want to punch things really hard, and they're like, if you keep punching them, you punch even harder. I'm like, that's great.
So if Sword Fighter's class ability is you get a barrier And if an enemy breaks that barrier, if they hit you at all, you take no damage and you do a counter slash. One of the first things you can upgrade it to is if you parry something with this up, it doesn't use it, but you get the counter slash.
Yeah, when I found that out, I was like, why is this upgrade to Knight and become useless? Because you lose that ability.
Except the Knight thing, though, with Knight, it's not as good, but it also works if you block and you have a provoke. So I assume what it wants you to do is that there will be tower shields or something in the game, so you can just be like, and it works. Like if you're fighting Garland, with the Knight, I beat him with the Knight class, and I stopped casting fire on him when he does Ice Sword in his second phase, because all his moves hit a bunch, and if I block them, it does a ton of break damage to him.
Right.
Every hit makes it pop.
Oh yeah, because that multi-hit shit is like maybe 8 or 9 hits. Is really absurd.
Yeah. So meanwhile, if I parried it, he bounces off me.
Oh.
And it only counts as 1 hit. But right now the base class still seems way better than Knight.
Yeah. That was the read I got. I was kind of confused when I got Knight and read its description and kind of went, that it wouldn't really make sense if this was worse.
Yeah, I assume they're going to balance the game. Because I put the Red Mage and Knight criticisms in my survey. I'm like, this seems really bad. This seems less bad, but doesn't seem as good. Shouldn't you reverse this?
Yeah, a lot more worries now, honestly, with this game, because it's only a few months out. It's in March. I thought that we were looking at like a year plus from the initial reveal. So yeah, there's a lot of things. I'm like, is there enough time to fix this?
Seems mostly just to be balance things. I imagine they can fix that pretty easily.
The stuff you talked about, sure. I got my whole list of problems. I was going to let you guys go through it first, though, because you seem super hyped about it.
Yeah, overall, I didn't have too many complaints aside from like performance, obviously, but you know, with
performance is bad.
With a lot of games,
this performance is worse than Neo's first beta.
Yeah, but
this is worse than the Wii U version of Ninja Gaiden 3. I'm scared.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure it will be fine on PS5. If you're playing it on PS4, you're doomed.
Yeah, that's the funny thing.
We're playing on PS5 now. That's why I'm scared.
Yeah, but they have.
I'm sure they haven't done any optimization on it. Like none.
Yeah, that's my assumption is we need it out for TGS. I don't care. Just put out the fucking demo.
Another thing, this game looks terrible. Like visually hideous. Basically everywhere.
I don't know. I thought some stuff looked.
I don't really saw it.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I don't know, guys. That castle, they raised the brightness, but now everything just looks weirdly dark bright.
Dark bright.
It's hideous.
So, real quick to clarify, because you're using vague terms, do you mean technically speaking, it's not that impressive for how poorly it's running, or artistically? It looks like shit.
I think
or is
both,
it both?
honestly, because it's running super bad, so I expect it to look technically better.
That's where I was with the first demo, and to hear the second one doesn't run better is kind of concerning. But continue.
But yeah, that first area, they did their best to try and make it viewable. I can now see things in all but one room, which I still can't see anything.
Yeah. Is that room the hallway once you get to the second floor? Or is it a different one?
No, they got that room viewable.
Okay, that's good.
The one right before Garland is now completely still just, I can't see it all. But yeah, I don't know if what they need to do with their lighting system. It's not working at all.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong.
What's up?
Neo 1 didn't have HDR.
No.
But I think 2 did?
I don't know if 2 even got it.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Okay.
At the very least, the PS5 version does.
So this isn't their first stab at HDR.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if this has HDR yet. Maybe it's
no
going
way.
to.
Really?
Maybe that's not implemented yet, so just everything looks weird and wrong.
I could easily see them not having HDR in this demo.
If it doesn't have HDR, then that may be another problem, because I've heard that SDR content on PS5 is real fucking weird. But I haven't done a whole lot of investigating into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that second area, it feels like it might be kicking the res down to like 540p or something. It looks incredibly blurry. Like it looks like I'm playing a Switch game. I saw Xenoblade a few times just looking at the area, and there's like text or detail dense stuff like grass, and it's just a blob.
I mean, it sounds similar to the training area from the first demo.
Yes.
And yeah, that did look remarkably lower res than the entire rest of that first demo.
Right. And that's the same thing with the second area. In the second area, some of the areas look somewhat okay, but I think they still look pretty bad in the bright areas. And then you go in underground and it looks really bad because, again, it's dark bright.
Okay.
So I'm really scared about that. Also, I think that the character designs are okay if they have the original designs, like their costumes and stuff.
Yeah.
But this game is a game where you get loot, so you immediately replace their costumes with the worst looking things ever made.
Again, that feeds into the really dumb parts of this game, so it's a positive feedback loop for me.
So,
where
yeah.
I'm like, this is stupid.
So they need to have a feature where I can just I don't want to see the visuals for these armors. Thank you.
Yeah, it's always cool
Neo,
when
Neo
Gamer
2
games
had that, so I'm sure you're gonna have like a glamour option.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Jack is the worst designed character in a Final Fantasy game.
Oh, he's the best designed character in the Final
He's
Fantasy
great,
game.
actually.
He looks like a 7th gen character. If this guy was anything else, you guys would hate it.
He's a 7th gen. He's a 7th gen character of an early aughts fuckboy, and it's really funny.
I'm sorry.
Yes, Bob. If he was in a game full of characters that looked exactly like him, I wouldn't like it.
Yes.
But it's the parallel because he's surrounded by anime boys and girls and looks like he's just upset about it.
This is why context is very important.
Okay.
Home Depot, man, in Final Fantasy World is the funniest shit ever.
In my other big problem with it that's balance related is, it's really hard. Like in Neo, you have a level and then you have your weapons you're earning points for. In this, you have a level for each class, but it's unclear if leveling up the class is increasing your power overall. If any of the stuff transfers from one class to another, even from regular classes to advanced classes, it's super unclear, and they need to make that legible.
Yeah, I assume that's something that's going to change, that'll be like more clear in the final game, because I can't imagine the progression system is even close to this fast in
Yeah.
Yeah,
Final
There's
game?
no way.
Yeah,
There's no way.
Yeah, that's typically how they do it.
either
in the
that
demos.
either that or you only have like 10% of those skill trees.
Now, Phil, you might know, because I did not know at all playing the demo. What the fuck does Job Affinity do?
You get bonuses. You get bonuses to your stats, which you can't see, I don't think, in this demo.
you
I don't think you
can.
can actually
You
see your
can,
raw stats.
Unless it's like
Okay.
that the specific gear that's like a dragoon symbols on it, so that those boosts are better.
Yeah, you get stat boosts and benefits at 25, 50, 75, 100, 150, and then 250% affinity. I don't know if it has another effect beyond that. It might.
Yeah, because I saw there's nodes peppered throughout every single one that are like raises this affinity, and I did not know actually what that did. I was more excited because there was going to be a move like two things down, so I was like, all right, let me run past this real quick.
Affinity also is super confusing because I think that no matter what job you actually are, you still get affinity bonuses from anything else you have affinity bonuses from, like armor.
Yeah.
So it's strange. I don't think it's fully thought out. But who knows? Maybe it'll make sense in the full game.
Yeah. Maybe some things aren't clear. It's just both demos have felt like they are coming out after specific showings of this game, so they're like, give that slice that just kind of works. That's why I'm not as worried about the performance when it comes to launch, where I'm like, they're going to be able to hunker down and focus on optimization. Because given the amount of weapons they put in this one, I'm like, I imagine the content of this game might in fact be done. And now they're focusing on polishing and making that frame rate stay at a high point, not a low point where I start the second level and I spin the camera and go, whoa!
Yeah, that was rough.
There are gigantic stutters in that level.
Yeah,
Well, it's unplayable frequently.
The first level is quality mode. The second level is ultra 4K ray trace.
It was like, I was like, holy moly!
And that's why it was that concerning. It was like, this looks like I'm playing Xenoblade. Why is it running like this?
like when I was going through the level, it didn't look to me like Xenoblade, but it did look a little chunky.
It's okay.
I also assume this game could just easily be delayed. Like I could see us waking up and it's like, it's August now. I'm like, okay.
And I'm like, yeah, sure.
It's okay, guys. The variable refresh rate will be here.
That won't save this.
No, well,
It's only a year and 3 months after launch when this game
Dan,
comes out.
variable rate refresh doesn't work when you spin the camera on level 2 and it drops to 28.
I'm gonna be honest. I
Maybe.
played a certain game on the Series X recently. It was hooked directly to my TV. The frame rate tanked so bad in that game, the TV turned off.
Yeah, Dan, they would do that
Oh.
every couple steps in that second level.
Exactly. That would be fucking hilarious.
It goes to 0 frames rendered frequently.
I'd
No,
never
it
seen
doesn't.
I'd never seen a game other than Mighty Number 9 do that, and that had to be plugged through the capture card to do it. So it floored me when I'm like, the screen just turned off. It says there is no HDMI plugged in.
You know, I forgot how some of these mechanics work, so I was getting hit by attacks in this game. I'm like, what the fuck do you want from me? I was like, oh, I'm supposed to do the fucking soul shield shit. Because you hit that second boss, which is like an elemental goo thing, and one of its moves is like it shoots 3 projectiles at you, and I'm like, I have to run full speed to be able to die. Oh, I'm supposed to just block this, and it will do 0 damage.
Yeah, for some reason there are 2 versions of parry in this because you can parry with the L1,
Uh-huh.
and you can also parry with that.
I'm gonna be honest, Bob. I never do the L1. When they introduced, it's like, no, the soul shield's that good shit. So my brain just constantly is defaulted to that.
Yeah, the weird thing is they put behind the L1 parry, you can also do a special move off of.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, like different classes can earn a special move for that, or you can just equip any special move to it.
Yeah.
So it's weird that it's there, and also just strange. I don't know.
I think the all your defensive options working differently is interesting, and I'm curious on how it'll work in the full game. Because you can't just parry all day; it takes a big chunk of your bar.
Right.
And you also have to be very precise with that parry as well, because if you're doing the circle one, it burns meter when you're pressing it. So ideally,
Yeah.
you want to do it as something lands, so you're taking the minimal amount of damage from that.
Yeah, the idea with the L1 parry, it also does it does replenish your parry bar, your stamina meter
and
faster.
blocking takes less than parrying. And if
Right.
you have, I assume there will be shields that have like, because your shield that you get in this seems like it blocks 100% of physical damage, but not 100% of magical damage. So it's basically Dark Souls rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where shields, so I assume you'll get a magic shield that blocks magic and that blocks magic better than physical.
Yeah.
So I assume there's like, okay, do you want to dodge it? Do you want to block it? Do you want to do the soul parry? I've mentioned this before that like a lot of games have ruined my brain because it's like, no, never block. Why would I ever block anything? I have a dodge button.
Yeah.
Like that like I don't think I blocked anything in No More Heroes 3 at all.
Okay, I did like very minimal blocking in that as well.
Yeah.
This game
'Cause-
game taught me to block when I fought Garland, and he has shit like that ice throw in the air, and I'm like, oh, I get it now.
I just dash forward and go under it.
God
Yeah.
damn it!
Yeah, me too.
Me, I'm like, oh, I do that perfect the guard of it. That
Or if you have Dragoon, you can immediately use jump and just land on him.
yeah, the jump is great. Where sometimes you're just like, fuck this. I'm going over here now. I don't have much else really to say about this aside from I had a great time. I like that there's a bunch of builds I can get into this. I just want them to punch up performance.
Feel? Any closing comments?
Yeah, I'm really excited for this. I liked Neo 2, but like a Neo 2 that I can give a shit about the things I'm fighting even remotely because it's things from Final Fantasy. Big boost to me liking Neo 2.
Bob.
Yeah, like I said, I'm super concerned, but I'm hopeful. But also, like the story's probably gonna be good. I just really worry about a lot of parts of this.
Okay. You pick is everyone picking that up at launch?
Yeah.
You picking it up, Bob?
Yeah.
Probably, unless it becomes even more clear that it just is gonna be trash.
Okay. I'll be picking it up at launch. We should do some sort of cast.
Probably.
There will be many
At
things.
some point, because it's going to be 85 hours long like Neo 2 was.
God.
Oh, please slide it all into my fucking mouth.
You know, I kind of doubt it just because there has to be more story here, but who knows? We'll see.
And then Jack really got into killing cactuars for a good 15 hours.
I mean, there can just be a bunch of levels that are like it's a dungeon. There's almost no cutscene.
That
It
would
could
be
even then be like it's only 85 hours for Field because he has that disease where he's like, I need to play every level.
Yes, the only reason I beat Neo 2 is because I'm like, I will not do the Twilight ones.
yeah.
Yeah, those aren't designed to be played.
Yeah, I know. I know.
And at the end, where every side mission became redo this boss fight, I'm like, no. Especially in the DLCs. In the DLCs, that's every single one.
Yeah, and they want you to redo those boss fights frequently so you can get new moves. It's horrible.
Yeah, I like Final Fantasy a lot. I don't think it can trick me into doing a Twilight mission variant and or all of them.
It'll trick me. It'll be like, okay, I'm gonna play every single thing on hard mode.
Okay, it might get me to do a little bit of it and then just tap out unless they put a plat behind it. Then I'll think about it until it makes me upset. Then I'll stop.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's all the games Bob played.
Yeah,
we should move on. KZ.
All right. So aside from Stranger of Paradise, I played some Far Cry 6. I was given a review code for it. Thank you, Ubisoft, for that. I'm only going to talk about it very limited because I don't want to spoil anything for Bob, who's been eagerly awaiting this release.
No, I haven't.
You've been eagerly awaiting our co-op runner of some sort or whatever is happening. Yeah, this is if you played a Far Cry since 3, it's like that. They've done some refinements and some changes. You used to be able to level up and invest in certain skills to make your kit fun to use. They realized that sucks shit, so they just ripped that part out, and you're already kind of like kitted out on abilities. You don't have to level up a bunch so that you have the ability to be able to jump from a high place and then auto-assassinate somebody and various things like that. They put more focus.
The guy who wanted to sell you boosters went to prison or whatever. So
yes,
it would make sense.
Yes, there's an immediate uptick in this game being better just off that stuff alone. They focused more on the fact that you have different outfits you can put on, and each like piece has a different thing. Like this one does better for like soft shell rounds and stuff like that. So it's like you put on different stuff for that. But it is in fact a Far Cry game. For reference, I really enjoyed 4. I love that one a lot. The setting and everything. I played 5. I played about 8 hours and went, I hate this. I played New Dawn and went, I hate this, but this is shorter and it'd be funny if I finished it. But was also kind of terrible. This one is probably my favorite one at this point. I came out of that feeling pretty positive. In some form of content in the future, I may talk a bit more deeply about it, but that's all I kind of wanted to say about it. I came out of it feeling pretty all right. Also, the fact that it's less than half the length of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, so that's a big win.
I think that's most of gaming.
Yeah, this took me about 24 or 25 hours to clear.
Yeah,
which, felt pretty good, especially after Days Gone.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, you said Assassin's Creed took you 60 or 67 hours?
Yeah, it took me 67 hours and I didn't finish it. Because the game glitched and would not let me progress anymore.
Great.
The only other game I played was a game that went on my radar recently due to good reviews. Hot Wheels Unleashed.
Yes.
Which is out on basically everything, including the Switch. This is a Hot Wheels like game where you not only can do normal races, but you can also build your own tracks. The conceit is that they are trying to make it like realistic in a way where it's like you're hanging out in some dude's basement and you're going along the track and you can see a gamer chair over there. So it's just like trying to do that. And some of them are like you're in a museum and stuff like that. Visually, it looks really nice. Like graphics wise, I was like, oh, this looks like higher rent than I was expecting from it. I can't say I had a lot of reverence for the Hot Wheels brand until I started the game. They're like, here's your blind box, because this has loot boxes, but you can't like buy them with microtransactions. That's just how they give you them for progression. I opened one. They're like, you get this car from you get this Hot Wheels from Acceleracers, the CG cartoon that aired on Cartoon Network in 2004. And I'm like, I remember that. That was sick as shit. I love this car. This is cool. And I just started playing through it. There's like a story-esque mode, like a campaign mode, where it's like you get a top-down view of a map, and there are a bunch of nodes on it for like levels. And there seems to be like 90 or 95 of these that you can do that are varying different types of quick races, time trials of they want you to do this lap at a certain within a certain amount of time, and there's like a bonus for getting the unleash time, which is like the fastest version of that, they assume. Apparently, there are like boss races. I have not hit those yet, and like special secret routes that you can find depending on what you did. Overall, the racing gameplay feels good. It feels easy to get into, but harder to master in a way I wasn't really expecting. Where it's like you have drifting in this, and drifting feeds into your boost meter, and the drifting feels harder than it is in, say, like a Mario Kart game, where it's like you do have to pay attention to it, and you kind of have to baby your brake to properly like get yourself right there, because these are Hot Wheels tracks.
Yes.
So it's like it is that you don't have a lot of room. You have room, but it's like you don't have a bunch to where you will bounce on walls if you're not like being too careful. And also the idea that if you're not picking up a good, at least a decent amount of speed, when you do a loop-de-loop, you're gonna fall. You're gonna fall from the fucking ceiling because you're not going fast enough as you're going all the way up.
That's important. Mm-hmm. That's an important detail to get down in your Hot Wheels game.
And the fact that these tracks at times don't have track in the middle, so you're just doing big ass jumps.
Nice.
And cool stunt stuff. Cars sometimes have different boost mechanics. Like the Acceleracers car I have has 3 ring nodes of boost, where it like fills up a ring, and then once that's filled, you can use that. And other ones just have only 1 traditional meter, so there's a bit of variance there. You can customize the cars. There's a photo mode that works like most modern game photo modes. This is really fleshed out in a way I was not really expecting from a licensed game like this. Like the racing feels like it has more depth than the average like kart racer. The fact that it's not littered with microtransactions for the loot boxes, it's just something you build through in the game, is nice. The licenses they get because it's the Hot Wheels brand, so it's like everyone's trying to get the fucking DeLorean from Back to the Future because it's in here.
Yep.
And they're like the promoted cars you can buy are like, here's this one with Snoopy on it. And it's like, I think that's really nice and cute. And you even have the basement, which is this is like your hub area that you can customize. It's like your own room, so you can like change what you got going on in there. There's your cool futuristic gamer chair and your couch or whatever.
Does someone welcome you to the basement? Are you the new 10-year-old in town?
You're the new 10-year-old in town, and you got to check this shit out. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty positive on this thing overall. It even has online play, which is pretty nice. It does like vote for the tracks, and some of them are just like, yeah, there's a straight line that someone made, and the whole goal is just who can get there fast through boosts. But they put a spider toy up there that shoots little webs, and you got to like weave through those because the people that get hit by that are going straight in fucking last place.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but The way you can get like rubber banded by other cars kind of reminded me of Sonic Racing Transformed, where if you hit a wall and you keep driving, you're fucked because you're not gonna move. You're not gonna move through this thing like Mario Kart. It's like, no, you need to back up. And one time I crashed into it, and an AR car slammed into me and kept driving me in, and I'm like, I can't move. So for 5 seconds it did that until it got its respawn thing and disappeared for a second. But yeah, I definitely recommend this. Definitely when it goes on a bit of a sale, since it is still like it's like $50, so it's still a little bit pricey. But I can see why it got some pretty decent reviews.
That is the PS5 version. That's 50, right? I think last gen might be 40, is what some people were saying.
Oh, okay, that definitely makes sense then, because this doesn't feel top of the line visually, but it feels like.
Okay, no, it's 50 across everything.
Okay.
I just looked that up to be sure.
Okay. But visually, looks good. It also runs great and has almost virtually no loading, especially when you want to retry a track or something. Yeah, I don't have much bad to say about it, except maybe like the menus, not every menu needs most of its buttons to be holds.
Oh, yeah. It
has a lot of that hold thing for that. But aside from that, yeah, it's real good. Really enjoying casually just jumping into that every now and then. But that's all my games for this week.
Okay, Phil?
Okay, let's see. We covered most of the things I played this week. I had to stop streaming Final Fantasy VIII because they decided to update the game for no reason after 2.5 years and broke all my shit.
What?
I saw that and I was like, no way. Why would they patch it now?
Oh my god.
They patched it to fix the fucking frame rate issue, which is because it was stuck at like 21.
Wait,
And yeah, it was stuck at 21 like it was a bug.
you telling me they fixed that?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
They said they did. They like fixed an issue that made the frame rate bad after this specific Windows update made it 22.
Oh.
Windows!
But unfortunately, that broke every single mod I was using. So
I'm so sorry.
I had to pause. So instead I played all of Ty the Tasmanian Tiger in one stream.
Ooh.
Yeah, I woke up one day, stumbled into your stream, and went, "Why does this look so much better than TAC?"
Oh yeah, this looks better than basically every 3D platformer any of you guys have played this year, except for Sly.
I was gonna say, "Aw."
Because it's like, wow, this isn't painful, and I beat it in under 7 hours.
Yeah, and the animation quality for the cutscenes and voice acting and all that stuff puts it really close to Sly tier, honestly. Like, it's fucking nuts.
They ran out of money hardcore developing this game though.
Oh yeah.
Like oh yeah, because first of all, there's like only 4 levels. No, there's 5, but there's 9 actual levels. They repeat each level type once except for one. Like each level theme and aesthetic. Because like, okay, here's the second jungle level. Here's the second snow level. Here's the second water tropical level. They're not really any different from the previous ones, but we need to pad this shit out. So the plot of the game is that you need to get these 5 talismans because you gotta.
Okay.
There's not really an or else. The villain, which is a bird that considers himself a dinosaur and wants to kill all mammals, is like a mad scientist. Is your antagonist, but he wants the 5 talismans and he gets one of them. So you have to get the other 4, and the way you do this is by getting the jiggies of the game, thunder eggs, to power a teleportation machine that just teleports the talisman to you. So you get 3 sets of 3 levels.
Okay. Wait.
And
the thing you're getting is a currency or energy source to get the thing you actually want to you?
yes,
That just seems really weird.
Yeah, it does seem pretty weird.
yeah, it's very strange.
Funniest thing about
but
watching you play this is when it was like, yeah, collect these thunder eggs. And I'm like, oh shit, I forgot all about thunder eggs. It's been 2 decades since I thought about thunder eggs.
Yeah, they're in Jack, right?
The way this is a very sanely structured collectathon. You get 3 sets of 3 levels. Each set, you collect thunder eggs in each set, but they're different elements, so they don't cross over. So you can't like 100% the first 4 levels and then barely engage with the last ones.
Damn it.
Because there is 72 of these things total. You need 51 of them to beat the game, which translates out to you need 17 from each set of 3 levels. I don't like the fact that every level has a scour the entire level for every coin.
Oh no.
Once you get every single coin, you can open a box that has a thunder egg in it.
Oh.
And then another one is there's 5 it's Jinjos. It's just fucking Jinjos.
Okay.
Except they're hidden a million times more deviously than Jinjos are.
Yeah, the Jinjo was pretty common across all of them. Like even Jack has those scout flies in boxes.
Yes.
So it becomes like in the later levels, like, because I'm not fucking getting either of those. But luckily, you don't have to engage with those. You can just get the other 6 in each level, and it's fine.
Yeah, it's like the 8 red coins.
Yeah.
Also, each level has a race. It's a different race each time. But once you finish, the levels are structured like Spyro 3, basically, where it's like you have a main objective that gives you a tour of the level. And then when you finish it, a time trial opens, and then there's other things to do in the level.
And then you pay a capitalist to let you win the game.
Ty's design is horrifying. you know how Sonic has like the mouth that kind of moves from side to side, but it's never really like directly under his eye because that would look very unsettling. Ty's mouth is like under his ear, and it doesn't move ever.
Yeah, to put it in another way, okay, imagine you're looking at a side profile of Ty's face, okay? His head. And you would expect the mouth to be on the front half, and you're wrong.
Yeah, it's on the back half.
It's on the back half.
He has the most egregious case of side mouth I've ever seen a character have.
He's just like, oh wow.
I thought the reason I say it ran out of money is that you get 3 talismans. And it's like, okay, go to the final level. It's like, but is it? And everybody was like, where's the 4th talisman? Because the final boss has 1, and you have 3. Where's this last one? You just find it on the ground in the last level, like, oh, look at this, the talisman. and then a boss takes it, who was obviously the boss you were going to have to fight at the end of their set of levels, and then you just beat them. They're like, we're leaving.
All right.
This game has really horrible bosses. It's not clear what to do for any of them.
Oh, cool. I love 3D platformers like that.
On the other hand, in boss fights, you just will infinitely respawn. Like it'll take the life from your counter, but you'll immediately respawn with the same amount of damage done.
Huh.
The final boss ends like Heavenly Sword. You have to do twang twang. Because your rival character, Sly the Tasmanian Tiger, who is like 1 shade darker than Ty, and you fight once in a random level, and then when you meet him in the last level to have your epic final showdown, you just get a cutscene where you dodge him and smack him off a cliff with a boomerang. and then like grab his hand to keep him from falling in the lava, and he immediately changes sides.
My favorite thing is that Phil could have just made all of that up, because that's how stupid that is.
Yeah, I know.
So then Sly the Tasmanian Tiger shows up, and you throw a boomerang at him, and he almost falls in lava, and you're like, nah, we good.
Yeah, that's literally what happened. So he shows up and gives you his Doomerang, which is his unique weapon.
That has to be
a
real,
skull
'cause that's
on
way too funny.
It has a skull on it, which his belt buckle also has. His belt buckle has a skull on it. And it's a remote control boomerang, so you have to like twang it down an unbelievably long vent full of lasers to just smack the final boss in the head.
Oh my god.
Here, I thought Ty was going to die at the end of this.
That'd be pretty cool.
And then you spoilers for Ty the Tasmanian Tiger, game that basically has no plot. You put all the talismans on this altar, and like this ghost spirit that's guiding you is like, good job, Tack, you did it. Then a portal opens and Ty, Ty. And then a portal opens and Ty's parents just pop out. And then Ty hugs them and then like jumps into the air like, yeah, and the credits go.
And then it goes, today is all right for tonight.
Pretty much. Pretty fucking much.
Is there anything at the beginning of the game be like, no, Ty lost his parents? Is there anything?
Yes,
okay.
but it still doesn't really make sense because it's implied this happened like hundreds of years ago.
What?
The story feels satirical to an extent, because like I feel like Ty to some extent is taking the piss out of Sonic, and apparently I've been told that the sequels do this even more so.
Okay. Yeah, it's sequels.
But
I didn't even know.
I knew it had one.
It has 3.
Whoa.
3 sequels.
Why?
1 and 2 have HD remasters that you can buy. The HD remaster seems really good, except for the part where all the gyro controls are on by default, and I thought I was going insane because there's gyro controls on aiming, which is relatively sane, but there's also gyro controls for gliding when you do your gliding move. So I would glide for like long stretches of time, and suddenly the controls would fuck up and be like, "Is there some fucking mechanic to this I don't understand?" And then someone was like, "I think it's gyro controls, man." And I'm like, let me go into the menu. Yes, it is. Thank God you can just turn it off. But yeah, I booted the game. I ran the character in a tight circle. I'm like, oh, this is a video game. This won't be painful at all. And it mostly isn't. So I got the easy one compared to KZ, who's been shot 14 times this year.
I was thinking we should say he shot himself 14 times. I think we'd be fair with this.
You know what? Tack, there's no reason anybody should think Tack would be that bad.
Yeah, they're really.
Or Blink.
What are you talking about? I had every reason to think he'd be that bad.
I mean,
now Blinks is the one I'm like, there's
Blinks
no
I couldn't like. Microsoft made that a first-party game,
right?
I never would have assumed that Blinks went that poorly.
Bob, there are like 6 Tack games. They just kept making
them. Cartoon show.
Yeah, they will continue to make bad third-party games. Yes,
that used to be a thing. Then the 7th gen came, and just like the dinosaurs, they went extinct.
See, I would have expected tech to be like a 5 or a 6.
Yeah.
Not a 0.
I expected Tack to land about where it did. I
also played most of Circle of the Moon. I wish every optional room didn't end with a heart power up. That makes me sad.
No, it's really cool because you get all these hearts and then you have sub weapons and then you don't use them.
I use the holy water. I like that the holy water is actually really strong in Circle of the Moon.
Yeah, those games go up like 2 or 3 points as soon as they stop pretending that heart should be its own stat.
Also, Circle of the Moon just kind of feels like shit. Double tapping to sprint doesn't feel good. That should be your default movement speed.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Also, your wall jump not carrying momentum from a dash feels bad. Also,
yes.
Also, the fact that you can get a magic setup that makes a barrier around you when you sprint, so you can sprint through low level enemies, but it vanishes the second your feet leave the ground is terrible. If I have dash momentum, I should get that barrier.
Nope, sorry. It's only for running on the ground. It is not for moving through the air with running like speed.
But it seems fine. I'll probably skip Harmony of Dissonance and just play Aria of Sorrow.
It's really funny because Harmony of Dissonance has really great combat systems and feels real cool, and it's got some neat songs in it. But then there's the game you're playing, which is the castle, and it sucks so bad.
But that was everything I played.
Okay, we should talk about the Podlord.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, fuck the Podlords.
They're right there.
They're coming through your screen. Oh, no.
Yes, that's right. The Podlords that are coming through your screen. Podlords such as E. Lee Broyles, live action Muito Real. We continue to win.
Always.
Red Blaze 27.
And forever.
The End of Juicifrost. Suzu Shiro. Emperor Zero. Friendship ended with Mickey. Now Mario is my best friend. A Draco smiling wide because of Sora and Smash, and the beautiful orchestral version of Simple and Clean. The arc is over, everyone. Rado.
Oh, okay.
Shadow Legends.
Okay.
Got him.
What's up, Radio Shadio?
Oh no, it's that Radio Shadio. 101 Shades of Wonderful remastered. So hyped for the final Smash fighter.
It's him.
You know, somehow this is one of the less horrifying Buseys.
I know, right?
I think it's because, like, Sora's hair makes his face seem like the right size.
You think it's fine until you imagine Gary Busey doing Kingdom Hearts 1 Sora jump.
Or the smile.
His
I
legs
imagine
just
Gary
shoot
Busey
out.
yelling, "Deep freeze!"
WTF Spider-Man. KZ, stay winning.
I will. Forever.
Shows up, calls your theory bullshit, loudly plays Limp Bizkit on his phone, refuses to elaborate further, leaves.
What a fucking immaculate character.
DFW 3K. Remember me?
I can't even tell what. Oh, that's supposed to be a butt?
Ass.
Oh, it's a Remember Me butt. Okay. Man.
There are layers here.
It's the cover from Remember Me, the really pro-female protagonist game with the giant. This is a really good way to crop that box art. Thank you so much. Podlord, more like tip jar for the BTD boys escalating bet war.
Ah, yes.
Kristen, don't assume your dreams are just fantasy. If you can doink a world, believe in it and dive in.
Yeah, I shouldn't have drank during that. I'm gonna fucking die.
The knife is killing me.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
really good.
The darkness really adds to it.
Yeah, at first, before my eyes like focused, I'm like, why does Auntie Sora have a knife?
Santi Kunai. Travis Touchdown versus new Raido Kuzunoha. Sorry, actually, the other Podlord said Raido, so now this is Raido Kuzunoha. Switch Edition!
What have you done?
Count Von Admar presents the scariest Gundam game ever.
Oh no, Gundam Crossfire.
It's for Spooktober gamers out there. It's like a slideshow. Kyle Bjork. Zilter. Lingering Will Turner added to Smash.
Iron Aggro. Blig de Blue. Schlig des Poo. Dr. Feel's Weird Ride.
It's not different at all, isn't it?
Monster Hunter Rising and Riding. The Joker bit is on hold. It's October. Watch Prince of Darkness. P.S. The joke was that it's a direct quote from Bob.
Oh, okay.
Lock the Chest finally got his bank account back from that bat guy and can now say, Sora and Smash, baby! Gale, Survivor. Flip a coin, Bat Dan. One side announces the Switch Pro, the other announces the Xbox Series 1.
No! You know what? I'm gonna be honest. I didn't want to see another fucking Batman bit, but this person pulled a winner.
This is a nightmare. It's just two different vats of acid, I feel like, because the fucking Switch Pro bait of being like, nah, it's just Switch OLED. Did they buy it? Okay, throw the Switch. Cooper Tank. The face of a man who makes good career choices. When the children are dazed and confused and glowing with an orange hue. Zasterder.
What does that feel?
That's from some Yakuza game, but I don't know what.
Bullshit. Now, I don't think the image is necessary, but whatever.
Bullshit. No, you can see the AirPods in that one.
Yep. Mitzi. I'd like to make a silent takedown. Get the cap gun. Indigo Sykes. Spoopy story time. Call of Duty Vanguard will sell millions. Okay. BN12. Evil Lucario. More excited about the Sega Saturn I bought this week. Podlord, this story doesn't add up. You've been saying this week for over a month now.
They keep buying these Sega Saturns.
Oh my god,
it's
is it that
escalating.
exciting every time?
Yes.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Well, keep at it, I guess. The Raccoon Emperor.
Ooh.
My grandmother once said, if I wish for it, fate will always be my ally. It's been a 6-year struggle, but Shinji16 is hoping to achieve DP9 Den rank in 2DX this year. Please lend him your spirit power.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck with that. Jesus Christ. Maria Kondenzovna Eve.
Were there like a lot of E's in that one?
No,
Oh, okay.
I just like saying that Podlord name.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's pretty good.
And Veerbaum, thank you very much to our Podlord.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pod Lords.
Thank you, Podlord.
Thank you, Podlord. Blair's Limp
And if you'd like to become a pod, and if you'd like to Blair Limp Biscuit, you can go to our Patreon at patreon.com/gbpodcast. For as little as $5 a month, you get access to many benefits such as early access to Chugging, Bleach, and Mondo Cool, our 2 anime review podcasts, extended armchair dev pitches and gamer premonitions because the format of those shows is cruel, and a Patreon exclusive show every month where you get to vote on what good or bad thing we watch and talk about. Sometimes it's real good, sometimes it's real bad. That's patreon.com/gbpodcast, and you can always help us out by telling other people about us, including strangers, them too.
Oh, yeah. Strangers are people, too.
And follow those instructions. If you're not a patron, you can't listen to Limp Bizkit anymore. You can no longer do it for the Nookie.
We got some interesting news this week. Some of this first bit came out earlier, but I was waiting for more people to corroborate. So here we go. Windows 11 is apparently substantially worsening game performance.
Oh my God.
AMD chips, specifically CPUs, are getting a nerf of about 3 to 15%, depending on the application. 15% for, I believe the range was 10 to 15% for a lot of esports games, just getting wrecked by Windows 11. This is according to Rock, Paper, Shotgun. Windows 11 by default will enable VBS, which is a hardware-based virtual machine sort of thing, a virtualization layer. This tanks gaming performance by up to 25% on pre-built PCs, which will have that enabled by default. Holy shit.
If that's enabled by default, can you turn it off? Or
I don't know how easy it would be to turn that off on a pre-built PC.
Okay.
Because of the nature of what it's trying to do, it may be harder than most Windows features, but I don't know. Maybe someone out there's done the research. Now, instead of dark tech news, I want to talk about positive tech news.
because it's positively fucking hilarious they made this. Valve made a Steam Deck video. Did anyone in this call?
No.
No?
No.
Bob?
I just heard they said don't mess with it or you'll die.
Okay. So they show you a video on how to disassemble the Steam Deck and spend the whole video saying, don't do this, never do this, do not do this, do not do this. This is how you replace this. Don't do that, though. Do not do this.
Yeah, okay.
It is nonstop.
I mean,
it's the
insane.
funniest shit in the world. Because they were like, well, we're just taking it apart to show you what's inside. But then they specifically show you how to replace two things that they say you should not do.
Why?
I mean, because it's PC gaming culture. They have to tell you that even if it'll break the device or kill you.
Yeah, they literally say if you take it apart, it will reduce the structural integrity of the device.
Wow.
There's no world in which you take this apart and put it back together and it is as strong as it was before. But one of the things they show how to replace is an SSD, and they're like, by the way, we chose a specific SSD so it wouldn't cause interference with our Wi-Fi chip. Do not replace this SSD with a random market SSD. So yeah, that's a fucking hilarious video, and I don't know why they did that. Bob, let's go to you. I can't believe more people are reporting this. This is the funniest shit in the world. Bob?
Yeah. Babylon's Fall, they showed off their next demo preview thing, their beta, and they're like, yeah, we're turning the graphics on.
The gifs that I saw of the slider was like, whoa.
Yeah, they have that filter we saw back at E3 where they try to make it look like an oil painting and everything just looks like mush.
Yeah.
So they're turning that off for stuff that's close to you. They have it off. They have it on for stuff way in the background, but now you get to see texture detail in anything.
Wow.
That makes actual sense where I would want the oil painting watercolor shit in the background.
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking.
Yeah,
I'm glad that they apparently got enough feedback being like, yeah, your game looks like mush.
That's all people wanted to talk about their game, that and that the game was a bad idea. So it's like,
Yeah.
hit that one.
So they can fix one of these two things.
Yes,
Yeah,
they
they can.
That's great. I'm glad that I can see graphics in that game now. Bob, let's move on, and that'll transition us to Feel when you're done with that.
Wow. All right. Ghost Recon Frontline got announced. This is a free-to-play tactical action massive PvP shooter. The closed beta starts soon.
Free to play, tactical action, massive PvP. Is this a MOBA? Or is this a battle royale?
They don't say battle royale anywhere on this website, but I've heard
Okay.
people say it's battle royale-esque. I don't know. They're operators. You get to choose different classes.
How massive is massive?
I don't know. This is basically everything that's on that website.
Is it a massive action game?
It's one.
It might
It's like
be.
a couple little blurbs like this. They're just like hype talk. It has nothing that feels like real concrete details.
There's just going to be a Tom Clancy game for every single conceivable shooter genre.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. I mean, shit, they announced that a fucking Left 4 Dead one.
God.
Okay, Feel, take it away.
Okay, Ghost Recon Breakpoint is getting free DLC called Ghost Recon Breakpoint Deep State Adventure.
You wrote this,
That's-
and I screamed.
That's the actual name.
That's the actual name.
I thought that was you joking.
No, that's the name.
What are they doing?
Ubisoft is French. They don't know what they're doing. Within the next 5 years, they're gonna release a game that's just, what if QAnon is real and you're on the side of QAnon?
I feel like that'll just happen next year.
Yeah, we might be closer than we think.
Yeah, that's the Assassin's Creed nightmare.
Oh!
No, that'll be Far Cry 7.
Ooh. Or the
you'd like a member of the-
middle game, because they always do a middle game now.
Oh God!
Like the last one
And
was
it'll
just like nuclear fallout, only when we just made the worst Far Cry game now.
And then they took place. It takes place in the same universe as Tom Clancy's XD. Rar.
Yeah, I
Awooga.
can't even hear you say that without saying rar. That's terrible.
I'm very happy about this.
Okay, Feel, let's move on.
Okay, I guess I'll just start at the fucking top.
Sure.
We've edited in a little correction to our upcoming news story. To clarify, the International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees hasn't gone on strike. They have authorized unanimously by vote the ability for the president to call a strike in order to be used as a bargaining chip in upcoming negotiations. To clarify again, they are not going on strike. They have just authorized the ability to go on strike to their president
in this negotiation, a thing that has never happened in their 128-year history.
So the International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees has gone on strike. This means all live action filming has stopped.
Cool.
Yeah, this they have they have like 150,000 members. This accounts for 97% of all staff on films.
Yeah, it is electrical, sound, setup, set building, makeup, everything. My understanding is that one of the things they're demanding, which is one of the reasons they're striking, is because Hollywood was like, no, not that. Is they're wanting to demand you don't get us more than 10 hours a day. And because it's this union, that means everybody is now 10 hours a day. Because you can't keep filming if these people leave.
Right.
Yeah. It's also the streaming stuff where everyone's pivoting to streaming content and they're not trying to raise the rates despite the fact that the streaming shows take up so much more money and a lot more high rent. They're like, no, we're not paying you anymore. It's like a bad TV thing.
Yeah,
pay you that low rate.
Yeah, it's also like when you spent like $60 million an episode on Loki.
I should probably
that's movie money.
I should probably get paid more for for Loki than Corey in the house.
Yeah. He's in the big house right now.
So, yeah, if something has not already finished filming, it's gonna be delayed. Who knows how long?
Well, that's
and this is a lot.
That's good.
This is a lot worse than the writing guild strike from the early aughts, the mid aughts.
Yeah, you can just ruin your franchise and keep running it through that.
You can.
Yeah.
You can just you can just pivot to reality TV, which is a lot of them did.
That's true. Yeah.
But this, first of all, I think I heard that the Voice Actors Guild was considering striking in like solidarity, which would mean the obvious jackknife to animated or dubbing content would also not work.
Yeah, when it's this level of these are the people on strike, I see everyone going, "Oh fuck, fold."
They can hold out a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And they probably will if it means their little check going down by, from $100 billion to $99 billion, they'll cry.
Yeah,
yes.
I feel like there's a higher chance of them folding a little faster just from the fact that they've gotten fucked so bad by COVID, delaying things like the fact that one Bond movie is taken well over a year to come out than was expected, to where they're like, yeah, I don't think we need another thing holding it back. Like holding their projects back. They want to get back to some level of normalcy with their like slates and stuff. That I could feel that could happen. But we'll see how much they really care about those profits and those splits they currently have.
Which leads into my next story.
God.
Randy Pitchford has stepped down as Gearbox president to focus on TV and film projects through Gearbox Studios, a separate company.
This is a Curb Your Enthusiasm episode.
He is still CEO of Gearbox, but it's so funny because Randy Pitchford, you are the most transparent motherfucker in the entire world.
He is.
You sold out to Embracer Group, and it now makes you insane that you're no longer the boss.
Yeah.
Also, you're desperate to be famous. You are desperate to be not like game industry famous. You want to be like a Hollywood guy.
Yeah.
You are desperate for that.
I mean, it says a lot that Pitchford practiced a lot of magic growing up. I feel like, and this isn't a condemnation of all magicians, but I feel like there are a couple different types of personalities that really get into magic, and one of them is someone who desperately needs attention.
Jace, I'm not... Dan, name a single magician that isn't terrible.
Houdini?
I would put Penn and Teller on the more positive end of magicians.
Really? That's our bar for positive?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
We're talking about magicians.
Yeah, Penn and Teller. They were in one of the Mucha Lucha movies.
Were they?
I'm just saying the bar for magicians is like on the floor. They have to do magic to go under it, which many of them do.
You hate Penn and Teller.
Have you paid attention to them beyond like them being in the Mucha Lucha movie?
I watched a couple episodes of Penn and Teller's bullshit.
I think you should watch like modern episodes and come back.
No, you can't make me. I think you should watch Modern Simpsons.
Oh no! I'm not gonna make that trade.
But like Chris Angel, terrible.
Yeah, of course.
Penn and Teller,
Mind
terrible. But anyway, let's move on to actual gaming news that isn't just me making fun of Randy Pitchford.
But that was fun though.
Atelier Sophie 2 Alchemists of the Mysterious Dream is announced. It releases for PS4, Switch, and PC on February 25th, 2022. It is apparently not dubbed because they said there will be English text. There will not be English dialogue, which means that now they've done a direct sequel to a dubbed game that is not dubbed.
Oh, we call that pulling a BlazBlue.
Yeah.
It seems like they learned the wrong lesson from Rise of 1 and 2 selling really well over here, which is we don't need to dub.
Yeah, we don't need to try. We can just slum it like this and it's fine.
That sucks.
And
Which this is Koei Tecmo, right?
Yeah.
Of course. Every single
Not that
game
the
from them.
Atelier games, not that the Atelier dubs were great in the first place because it had that problem where like, we voiced 30% of the dialogue that's voiced in Japanese and the rest is silent.
What?
Oh yeah, that was a big thing in 7th gen games, Bob.
Man.
Where
There's a reason I stopped playing almost all JRPGs in 7th gen.
where like
rough.
Nisa has got like most people have recovered, but during 7th gen, it was not unusual to buy like a Disgaea game or something and be like, this part should be voiced. It's voiced in Japanese, but we didn't feel like paying that much, so it's not in ours.
I noticed the end of some of those games were just like, hey, we're not dubbing these post game things at all.
Oh,
You cannot switch to Japanese because we don't want you to find out.
what's the name of the company that makes the Hyper Neptunia stuff?
Idea Factory.
That is
Okay.
Idea Factory.
Now I'm just remembering during a really long stream when we just floated Idea Factory month. How much should it cost, Bob? And Bob's like, yeah, you should probably get 2 cars out of that.
I was like, they literally made the worst things.
Yeah, what about 2 Toyota Corollas?
Yeah. I feel like that's a reasonable trade, or at least Bob does.
Yes, it was like you lowered the standard of JRPGs in general. That's how much of negative points you got.
Yeah,
from these
you're going to
RPGs.
play Neptunia 1 in 4 different ways.
Look, Bob, they're just like weird food additive companies. They just they filled a void, right? Except for they're the sawdust.
Yes, they made us so sawdust.
The sawdust of the JRPG industry.
Hyperdimension Neptunia : cellulose.
Windows 11's launch event is a 6D musical experience with a free NFT. Don't ask me what 6D musical experience means because I don't know, and neither do they.
What is it?
You forgot the really, really important part where they said 11 Nation, like 11 and Nation on the promo material for this event.
So it's launching 11 nations? Is that what's happening? Or
No, I think they're trying to say we're the 11 Nation. Because we're crazy about Windows 11.
Windows 11. Oh no.
Yeah, it's like, what's up, Dragon Ballers?
No, don't you ever compare that to this.
Yeah, mine has drip.
God, 11 Nation. 11 Nation, no feeling.
Next.
Koichi Sugiyama, composer of Dragon Quest 1 through 11, has passed away. Try denying that one. Lol, got him.
I woke up to this news and went, wow, this is the first time this a hypothetical bad news happened. I'm like, Pog?
I first saw, all I saw was a tweet from Phil that just said, oh, I'm excited for Dragon Quest 12. And I was like, I wonder what that's about.
I saw people talking about how you should describe like how you write articles about his death and everything, or about his influence on the Dragon Quest series, and I went, wait a minute, you're writing this as if no.
And then a Christmas song kicks in as Casey runs downstairs.
Yeah, I run downstairs and go, there's no way he wrote anything for 12. Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not one of those people who's like, yeah, this person's dead, dance on their grave. What a great moment. But I feel like this is my first time ever having that happen since I'm not British. This is a real great moment.
Now a lot of people, I understand not wanting to celebrate somebody's dying. Like, I understand that feeling really uncomfortable for a person not wanting to do it.
I never ever do that.
I'm going to do it because if you do it like, haha, gay people are dying. Fuck you. I'm going to dance on your grave.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm going to tap dance on your grave.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like, don't say bad things about the dead. And it's like, don't be a piece of shit when you're alive.
Those who don't respect the sanctity of life don't get their deaths respected.
I mean, that's definitely a part of this.
It's a genuine bad human being, did nothing but hold the work he did, the art he made, constantly held it back to try and make profits off CDs and shit, and also didn't make a good song in the past 20 years.
The guy was a terrible person. So I don't feel a single negative emotion about them passing.
It's well documented, and that he also used his influence to pay certain organizations for stuff in that way. So it's just, it all feeds into this thing of, why should I feel bad?
See, I already wasn't the biggest Sugiyama fan, and I only knew about 40% of the horrible things he did.
I like how someone replied to, I think it was Pat Stares That, saying, I was getting really disgusted at the way you were like dancing on this dude's grave. Then I looked it up. Keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I found out the other 60% when they passed. And someone went, here's the full bulleted list, and it's paragraphs.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
How can you even do this many distinctly different horrible things?
Well, he's 90. He had lots of time and lots of money.
That's true. He had both. I had both. What a piece of shit.
I like, it's so hard to even, like, this dude was 90.
Yeah.
Like, he was born before before people had phones in their homes usually.
Yeah. That's inevitable. This person lived a very long life and they did terrible things with it. I don't think we need to be overly protective in this case.
Yeah.
They did some truly heinous things.
You spend the last 30 years of your life being an asshole.
And not even like a normal asshole, like
being an asshole. Yeah, that's not. Yeah, being an ass. No, Biff is a better person than Koichi Sugiyama.
No, that's the thing, right?
That's a great quote, by the way.
That's what I was trying to say. It's like, Biff is an asshole, Sugiyama's so far beyond.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, if like a guy who's like a high school bully, who acts like a high school bully dies, I'm like, don't fucking dance on that dude's grave. He was just some dipshit.
It's like, whatever. He called you a butthead. Big deal.
Yeah.
You're demeaning your, like, there's a point that, unless somebody does something really heinous, you're demeaning yourself by dancing on their grave. You're not demeaning yourself by dancing on this man's grave.
Yeah.
He's a piece of shit.
Yeah. KZ.
Yes. Hello.
Let's go.
All right. So we caused so much negative energy sourced from us thinking, how bad could the final Smash character reveal be? Like thinking maybe it's another Mii fighter. That the positive energy exploded, hit max level. Our final Smash Ultimate DLC character is Sora from the Kingdom Hearts series. It's coming out on the 18th. They also revealed that he was the actual winner of the Smash ballot as the worldwide winner. Because why are we going to count Shrek? Features his Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, Dream Drop Distance, and 3 outfits. There's like 4 distinct renders for the character, which is insane. A bunch of other costumes and stuff, so it's not like recolors for this one. Showed off the Hollow Bastion stage it has that changes to like the Dive in the Heart tutorial area when it lows stock. Bunch of other cool stuff. This is the final Smash character, and it was in it, and it mentally destroyed me for the entire week.
Yeah, I've heard of Sora before. Bob, we should probably get up to speed on this Kingdom Hearts series. Maybe we should stream them all.
Yeah, that happened 3 years ago.
What? I don't remember that.
It may feel like 8 years ago because, the
hyperbolic current timeline we live in.
That happened. Kingdom Hearts means so much to me. It's my favorite series of all time, and without this series, I wouldn't live in this house.
That is actually true. Yeah.
After I got over crying over my favorite franchise of all time being represented as the final thing in the greatest fighting game ever made, I almost cried again thinking about how it's affected my life in that way.
Yeah, it's a moment that's also, there's a lot of importance to this because this is the last DLC character in what should be the last Smash game. They didn't announce any more plans. They stuck to the plan to do 2 fighter passes. And Sakurai has said before, if he does another Smash, Sounds like he's just gonna start from
Yeah.
ground zero.
There
right?
will never you can't go higher than this.
Right.
You can't there will never be a game like this ever again.
Which is why when Sakurai talks about it and he's like being modest about, yeah, we have this many different characters from this many different games in Smash. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think we did all right.
I like that he did that he did the stats.
Yes.
1,100 songs.
Yeah, that's insane.
100 a billion stages that you can't even see them unless you have a giant TV.
But yeah, this was a really great pick for the last character. I'm really glad it went this well. I was going to be fine no matter what they did, because the larger emotion for me would have been that this is it.
Yeah.
And now we have all of Smash.
What a perfect trailer that just illustrates that it's done. Like Sakurai says, he oversees and directs all of these trailers, and you can tell where it's like, we're gonna make this the first trailer again, but showing how it's ending, the fire's going out, but there's just one more.
Yeah.
And people are like, this is a Dark Souls trailer.
I made the joke during your stream, and then after the stream ends, I see a bunch of people. Yeah, I genuinely thought that. I was like, I look like that.
I'm gonna put this gently. If you really thought it was going this melancholy final Smash emotional trailer was going to lead to them summoning Dark Soulsmen,
That's the one that that's it.
I think you have deciphering emotional cues might not be your strongest suit.
I mean, I was scared. They've picked terrible things many times.
Not to end though. Even for Smash 4, it was it's Bayonetta. That's the most suggested one we could actually get.
Just sitting here losing it over. Well, they would have made the tone positive by having it be that one meme video of me and the bros in Dark Souls.
and yeah, I could see it being terrible, but it wouldn't have started like this.
Yeah.
It would have been a normal trailer.
The idea that the story of the trailer is the fiery Smash symbol slowly goes out. They turn back into their trophy forms, but Mario, he wakes up, there's one ember left. It acted one last Smash character, one last time for them to enter this ultimate fight. It's a fucking Dark Souls character. Instead of, here's this irreverent character that's been around for 20 years and was literally created because Square wanted a Mario 64 game.
And is owned by Disney. Somebody at Disney saw that trailer and just started jerking it as the Disney property brings life back to all these childhood figures.
And the fact that the internet exploded over the symbol of Mickey Mouse. And then Sora and Mario handshake like X-Men versus Street Fighter.
Which is really Mario shaking hands with Mickey Mouse, his only equal.
I really appreciate that they're like, this is Sora's recovery abilities. They're insane.
He's basically cheating, yeah.
Absolutely broken.
It's okay. He's lighter than Isabelle. Ganondorf will kill him at 0.
It is very possible, yeah.
It's been a while since they've shown a new character, and I'm like, you understand this so well. That jump. Mm-hmm. That awful Sora jump is perfectly realized, and then they start doing air combos, and I'm like, you did it.
Yeah.
You gave Sora the Kingdom Hearts 1 lock on when he's doing certain moves.
Mm-hmm.
It's all of that stuff is so smart, and then they're like, well, we can't really have many Disney references in here at all, but Timeless River seems distinct enough, but it's very much Steamboat Willie. We'll make that a costume. And I'm like, that's so good.
I'm really happy with the Steamboat Willie thing.
Yeah, we can't have Donald and Goofy in here, so we'll give you the drive forms that you only get by sacrificing Donald or Goofy in combat.
Also, we'll take them off the art, which is really funny. We'll just put a really bad looking Paopu fruit in a raft.
Oh yeah, because you have the
yes,
you have the dive
to
the heart.
To the heart.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. By the way, for Riku's, one of them's supposed to be Mickey in an org coat. They replaced that with key art of Sora. So they had to edit 2 of those things.
Good fucking god.
Was Was Ansem Seeker of Darkness always on that one?
Yes.
They
Okay,
should
'cause I
have.
was like, that looks like that's a really weird piece of art because it looks almost like a render they put a filter over. But then I googled it and I'm like, no, that's a piece of art.
Yeah, which
Weird.
Yeah, that one at least that happened a few years ago because they sell a lot of merch over there.
They should have just edited in Cloud and Sephiroth.
Riku's
for
good
Sora?
buds. No, for Riku, obviously.
And you got one for each.
Oh, okay.
See,
Can we talk? Okay, can we talk about how fucked up it is that Sora gets to hang out with Cloud and Sephiroth in Smash, but not in Kingdom Hearts anymore?
Yes, I'm. As soon as this comes out, I'm just gonna tweet an image of Sora versus Sephiroth and then call it Kingdom Hearts 3 Final Mix.
I mean, that's what I was yelling about for 2 years straight. So
Yeah,
you know.
well, I didn't fully care until I saw this and went, okay, maybe I do care now.
yeah, no, that's always a really cool part of Kingdom Hearts. I like the Final Fantasy stuff. I am certain the next one will get back to that. So
This one just had too much something.
It really
it's them getting a game out on a console scale for the first time since 2.
Yeah, that and it just seems like that with Kingdom Hearts that Disney went, you don't get to have story in any of our worlds. Those are to promote us. So it seems like it might be like, here's mostly Disney worlds, but here's a Square Enix world so we can have like a middle point of the story and not have a 6-hour death march at the end.
Yeah. God, this character looks so good.
Yeah.
They fucking nailed every single aspect, and the fact that there's a different character render for all the different costumes is really great. There's not going to be much difficulty when we do mirrors of this character.
Yeah.
Of like, oh no, I don't know who this is, or like playing as Kazuya of I don't know what suit I have on.
I
Kazuya,
don't know.
it's-
I think that I'll have a pretty hard time with 3 of those. A lot of those lures. Yeah, he's still wearing red. I have no idea.
I don't know. One's a Kingdom Hearts 1 red. Another one is Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance with a giant white X on his torso.
Good luck seeing that in Smash Bros.
Oh, I meant on like character select or whatever. But yeah,
who cares about that
The
part?
Kazuya thing is literally the worst it's ever
Yeah,
been.
that's what I'm
It's
thinking.
not going to be that bad because oh
Like,
my god, nothing is.
They would have to add Durgon C. Mikado to Smash for it to be that bad ever again.
Bring him in 5 times.
Oh, his jeans are a different color. I can't see his jeans. All I see is his washboard abs.
Fucking delicious.
Oh
God.
man.
Yeah, it's real good. And that new that Hollow Bastion stage is great when I'm like, you recreated the entire fucking map.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed that it's another one where it's floating platform and cool stuff in the background. At least they did that transition thing, so you get
Yeah.
to see the 2 areas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is disappointing that you don't get to actually play on Hollow Bastion.
Yeah, that would have been cool. Real quick though, does that happen for Sephiroth and this?
Uh-huh.
And Dragon Quest XI that was DLC for Fighter Pass 1 and it also
Yeah.
does that.
Yeah.
Is there something else I'm missing? Because I feel like there's another. Because Banjo's not that.
Oh, Banjo's not that.
I would not call Banjo
I think
that.
it really might just be those 3 square ones.
Okay,
That's
okay, it's just the
weird.
3 square ones.
Because like Minecraft is just a different world, and it stays the same every time it spawns.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true,
But
and
they
there
spawn different ways.
are level mechanics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's weirdly just the square ones. Mm-hmm. That's bizarre.
I did like how intricate they really did. They're like every platform.
It's literally the whole fucking thing.
they
and
recreated
I was
the whole
losing
thing.
it.
Like
Yeah.
the fact, I'm like, okay, you got the shifting block with the heartless symbol on it, but you have the fucking platforms with the electricity running through them. I'm like, this is the entire stage with every optional. Like, I'm surprised there weren't chests in this.
Right? It's really exacting.
Where I'm like, this is the best version of that world. I'm so glad you just like nailed that perfectly. And the fact that the transition to Dive to the Heart is only at low stock.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that mechanic.
That's very smart.
like really specific.
How come we can have all these square levels where you float around a really cool 3D model, but we can't have poke floats?
I don't know, man.
Damn it.
That would the end of Smash Bros means a few things. Like we don't ever get Poke Floats.
Yeah, ultimate
We don't
smash
get-
my ass.
We don't get a we don't get an update for whenever they upgrade the Switch. We
Yeah.
never get netcode that's even respectable in the least. It's really sad.
It would be cool if they were like, here's Super Switch Smash Ultimate.
yes, I
Maybe.
would be very
I think
happy.
that's always the possibility.
Yeah, when a new Switch comes out and they're like, we might as well just give you the full version of Ultimate, because I want that, because I don't want some of the most amazing characters in all of Smash to be locked as a digital only thing. I want that pressed into a physical piece of media forever.
Yeah. But yeah, this was a good ad. And then they announced that Kingdom Hearts 1.5, 2.5, and 3 are coming to Switch. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And then they say via the cloud, and I fucking lost it.
Yeah, right after this presentation, the fucking Square on the Kingdom Hearts socials put out a 20th anniversary promo video. I guess because they're like, well, it got into Smash. Let's fucking post this video now. Announcing the Switch ports for all of those that are coming in via the cloud. That's just really funny.
Yeah, the fact it was a part of the Smash Direct, because they did do that as a part of the Smash Direct. Was really funny to me. I was like, oh, it's the cloud. That's a little bit less exciting. Then I go to YouTube and I see, I don't know what sort of video I can make about this Sora news, but I know it's popular, so I'm going to explain why it's being ported via the cloud. I'm like, this ain't no mystery, man.
Yeah, it really is not.
This is the fucking Switch. They don't want to port those again. That's it.
Yeah, they don't want to port those again, and and those collections are so fucking massive.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff.
They're probably like, people will kill us when we go. All right, we're porting them one game at a time, like Devil May Cry. God. And they're like, why is no one buying the Recoded movie? I don't get it.
Why don't they just make that streamable on Netflix already?
I know, that would be great.
That would be so good. I would do that just as a bit.
That would be really funny.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Another fucking cutscene. Yeah, this 20th anniversary video, they had that. They've delayed Kingdom Hearts Union Cross Dark Road's finishing thing, where they were gonna put out the rest of it, because they stopped making that a game. They're gonna make it like a cutscene thing to finish that story that they started. They're like, it's all gonna come out at once. It was gonna come out like at the end of last month, but it got delayed. They're delaying it till winter, which I imagine is so that they can just put it out during the 20th anniversary. And it's like, yeah, they'll get that finished. They showed like scenes from it, and I'm like, oh, these are like a lot of really new assets. So that's cool. A bunch of merch, and they're going to do a special 20th anniversary event next year, which makes sense. I think it was like at the start of this year. They're like, yeah, we're not announcing anything special this year so that we can announce a new fucking game next year. So
yeah, they announced that, and for some reason I've seen Kingdom Hearts fans act all year like they haven't gotten anything in forever. I'm like,
yeah, no,
what are you talking
every
about?
time I was like, why are you guys confused? He literally said they're not going to announce a new game until next year.
Fucking the Kingdom Hearts 3 DLC was a year and a half ago now.
Yeah, those people are insane. I don't know what's wrong with your head.
You see, here's the problem, okay? Tetsuya Nomura had this thing he did where he would announce a game 8 years too early.
Yes.
So you always had stuff that's like on the list. For once, there's nothing on the list, which shouldn't necessarily be a bad thing.
Yeah, I think that's a great thing.
Yeah,
it's been so long, people don't know how to react to it. Even I had a moment where I'm like, wait a minute, what? There's no breadcrumb.
We went 1 year without a Kingdom Hearts. What the fuck?
We went 1 year without knowing. And that's weird. Huh. But whatever, they're gonna announce some shit next year. I wouldn't be surprised if next year is we're finishing up Dark Road. Here's that release. Here's some merch. Here's a native PS5 version of Kingdom Hearts 3, because that still doesn't exist yet. And here's whatever the next game's going to be. So that's exciting. Looking forward to that. That is their promo video that they put out.
They better make a native PS5 version of Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah, I feel like that's the one way they can be like, here's KH3 Final Mix. It's a native PS5 and Series X version of that game, because we already got the PC version.
Well, it's nice that the Xbox will get to play it.
Well, I mean, it would be very weird. Oh my, now you're putting it in my head.
It would be very rude of what? It'd be very rude of what? If somebody bought Kingdom Hearts 3 on the Xbox and then didn't get some important piece of content.
I was just thinking it would be very funny if they only did it on PlayStation and fuck the Xbox people. Then I remembered when they made DLC on 1 month exclusivity for the jokers that are like, I'm gonna play it on Xbox.
Yeah, I wanted to have the best experience possible, so I played it on my One X. Little did I know, it just runs worse than the PS4 Pro version, which makes no fucking sense, and then they fucked me on DLC. Don't worry, I got the message, though. I'm not one of these chumps who sits there, owns only an Xbox, and goes, why aren't they showing up?
Where's my Japanese games?
I don't understand those people at all.
Yeah, they've lost it at
Where's
this
my
point.
Japanese games? Where's my games from the companies that are very, very opposed to Game Pass? And Microsoft seems like they don't treat you very well if you don't want to be on Game Pass.
It's fine.
I don't know. It's almost like you zoned out for the last 8 years.
8? 8?
8?
It might be longer. I
might
feel
be.
like
I was
Final
like,
Fantasy
they-
13 was the last.
They cared about stuff in the 360 era. I was trying
They
to think
did.
of when.
They bankrolled Blue Dragon and
Lost Odyssey.
Lost Odyssey, and they did pay for a huge chunk of Tales of Vesperia's development.
Oh,
Yeah,
and they
same.
funded Crimson Dragon, which was a fucking mistake.
Okay, so that was over 10 years ago.
No, that was 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Crimson Dragon's the Panzer Dragoon thing they shoved microtransactions into to ruin
Oh, okay. Because I was thinking of those other things.
it. You were
like
thinking Blue Dragon or whatever?
Yeah, I was thinking of stuff like Lost Odyssey is like 2008.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what the other one they had exclusives from Square was. It was done by Tri-Ace. Had dinner,
Wasn't it Lost
dinner,
Remnant?
dinner.
Undiscovery.
Yeah, Infinite Undiscovery. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that has the
Yeah,
dinner
wasn't-
dance in it.
Yeah, what a good name for a
And
game.
Last Remnant was exclusive for a while, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
So was
it
Star
was.
Ocean 4.
Yeah.
They really threw money at.
And then they just
It-
stopped
Square
during the
Enix that
Xbox
jam.
One.
Yeah, they were like, well, we don't want to. Most of those games didn't sell because everybody bought. People who wanted those games bought a PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
And we weren't willing to shell out for Final Fantasy. We shelled out for all these B and C tier.
Yeah, they sure
Games.
did.
It's like the only one that really worked out for them is Tales of Vesperia, which is still the best-selling Tales game, or was until Arise. Arise and Berseria beat it, but in the States it was the best-selling one until those. Even on 360 only, because it's like, man, people wanted that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of last gen what they bankrolled from Square, and I'm like, oh yeah, Rise of the Tomb Raider. They-
Nothing
they
actually Japanese.
What
They
a
tried
good
to bankroll
trope.
Scalebound.
What a good trend. Microsoft throws money at Square Enix's Western studios so that way they can
Yeah.
figure out what to do with
Yeah,
them.
I was gonna say they bankrolled Rise of the Tomb Raider, a game that set its release date the same day as Fallout 4.
We're gonna move on.
Didn't they bankroll Shadow 2? Wasn't that also like exclusive for a certain amount of
No,
time?
one
I think,
wasn't.
I think they learned their lesson, and then that one bombed because the first one had all hype die out when it was exclusive to the wrong platform. And I say this as like not as a putting a game on Xbox is the wrong thing to do. No, it's PlayStation. It's Tomb Raider. There's a strong association there, or at least there was leading up to that moment.
Yeah, Rise was the second one at least, so it like killed that momentum of a series that was starting to grow.
Yes.
A reboot
Yeah.
series that was like,
Right.
all right, we established our first game. Our second game, you can only play on one platform for over a year.
Yeah. That was a mistake.
That doesn't
That-
make sense at all.
That really killed it. And then when I actually play it, it's like we're doing the stuff we did in the last one again, which also.
And
If
yeah.
I don't know if anyone else on this podcast has beat that first game. It leads directly.
I did.
The end of that game is she becomes the Tomb Raider. She's using dual pistols and going
Yeah.
crazy. You want the next game to be she's
Yeah.
the Tomb Raider, and
Yeah.
that's not what the next game is.
And for some reason, they were stuck in an infinite loop.
Yeah,
yeah, that's unfortunate.
Also, it didn't help that Shadow basically shipped the same week as Spider-Man.
Jesus fucking Christ. We got to move on.
Yeah, it was passed off to a different studio at that point too, Eidos Montreal, which is part of this next news story. This came out today. Eidos Montreal announced that after adapting to hybrid work styles of both in and out of office due to COVID, they are now shifting to 4-day work weeks. That's 32 hours because people immediately asked, like they're doing 32-hour work weeks now where their focus is just doing a better quality of work, which will help from the fact they're only working Monday through Thursday.
That's great.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's really smart. That is such a massive increase of quality of life to every single person who works there, and will hopefully shine through from the games and not result in them being sold to Microsoft and this immediately being undone.
Yep.
I think this is really great. I wish I had worked somewhere that was 4 days, 32 hours.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like you go from your time off being less than half of the time you work to like almost 1-1. It's such an unbelievable upgrade in quality of life just to work 4 days a week instead of 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, more workplaces should do this. It feels infinitely better.
We should have a 32-hour work week, and everyone who objects should be sentenced to death.
Yes.
Yeah, this seems like seems like there's some good vibes coming from that studio right now between like this and their new games about to come out because they're the ones making Guardians of the Galaxy,
Okay.
which is coming out at the end of the month. So it's like it's good that that's like finishing up and they're doing this. So it's like not you're in the death mines to patch something or whatever like that. That and it ensures their next big project of whatever they end up doing is using some like sane work week stuff, and we get to actually see it in practice, like see how they adapt to that type of work.
I feel like between that and Insomniac with Ratchet and Clank, we're starting to see a positive trend in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Yeah, and it's like these guys can put something really solid together. I would hope, because they did the Deus Ex stuff, and I heard good things about that when Square didn't want it to die.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But yeah, next up, my only other news is Naughty Dog's director of communications, Arne Meyer. Is it Arnie? I've never seen it without the I before. Arnie Meyer is now vice president. Everything that he said upon being in this place was talking about how he's focusing on improving the well-being of the devs there, workplace culture, a bunch of stuff like that.
That makes sense for someone who's been at Naughty Dog for 13 years.
Yeah, he said that's their big focus there.
For people not keeping track, which is most people, that studio has been through various stages of complete ruin and burnout for 16 years. Because we have stories going back to Uncharted 1.
God.
Where they talk about we didn't have the tools to make anything. People wanted to make the game, but they couldn't. Lots of people left. You would make a thing and it just wouldn't work. I'm like, this is a nightmare. When weren't they this? So, apparently Uncharted 1 is that. The Last of Us 2 is that.
God, Jak 3 was the last full-ass game that wasn't completely on fire.
Yeah. I guess you could count Jak X.
Yeah.
I mean, 7th gen was pretty much on fire for everyone. It's the fact it stayed on fire after that.
Yes. Luckily, we don't have any horror stories coming out of Uncharted 4 or the spinoff.
The Lost Legacy.
I do not know of any horror stories coming out of that. Maybe they exist.
Yeah, but there's horror stories for Last of Us 2, which was immediately after. So
I know, right?
The bigger horror stories.
I don't think you get worse than the game took so long to develop because we had to teach people from film and TV how to animate for games because no game animators want to work for Naughty Dog anymore.
From what I know now, that at very least seems to be the case because they were using the visual arts group people to help with Uncharted or The Last of Us 2. Because those are the people who worked on Sony Visual Arts Group is the people who worked on cinematics and everything for all their games going back to Resistance 2. So yeah, it makes sense that once you get those people in on making environments and shit, it's like, yeah, you're working on the gameplay part of the game now. You're gonna have to rethink how you do some of the stuff. But yeah, that's great news. I'm really glad that they promoted someone and the first thing out of their mouth is, we need to fix this place.
yeah.
That's awesome. Lots of good feels around the industries for fixing this place. I hear Gearbox just got rid of a total asshole. Anyways.
Wonder who that was.
Yeah, and then he directly fucking walked into a manhole.
Exactly. That is the news for this week. Let's talk about what we got coming up. Metroid Dread drops in 2 hours.
Very hype.
Yeah, that is insanely hype. Me and Bob, we're going to be playing Metroid Dread. But after that, next Friday, if I am correct, and I'm going to double check my fucking schedule note here.
Yep.
Before I announce this, even though I can edit it out.
Yeah.
Be like, Koichi, that was a mistake. Take it out.
Don't worry. I'm sure this is correct.
Starting next Friday, October 15th, begins Jacktober. So we will be doing Jack and Daxter on the 15th and streams sparingly after that. So keep an eye out for stream announcements over on twitch.tv/GigaBoots, where we're going to play Jack and Daxter, Jack 2, Jack 3, and Jack X. And if you're wondering what's up with the Lost Frontier and Daxter, well, maybe you should show up for those streams and find out.
Yeah. I've been pushing to get Jack on the docket at some point when it comes to death streams, because I like those games a lot. And I only like guesting in these where I'm very morbidly curious, like Lords of Shadow, or very passionate about.
Yes. I was going to say, you've been pushing for Jacktober or a Jack month since, God, Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah, it was either that or after Banjo.
Yeah.
Which I started turning to dust when it's like, that was over 2 years ago.
Yeah,
Since
sure was.
Since Banjo month.
Yep.
August. Too bad Jack doesn't make an iconic sound that we can turn into a
He
month
has some
name.
iconic words to say, though.
That's true. I feel like I'm going to kill Praxtober doesn't really work.
Fest.
But, hey, KZ, do you have things going on shortly after this goes up or at the same time this goes up, but before Jack?
I'm also going to play Metroid Dread. I have to get that done quickly because once this comes out will be the day that I'm playing through all of TAC 2, Staff of Dreams. This is really good. I paid Zoro an extended amount of cash for the worst possible promo art possible. So that's going to happen. I'm going to try and knock that out in one sitting. And then aside from that, I have to make sure nothing falls apart because I have to work on my own stuff in preparation to being in 4 death streams for Dan and Bob and also balance podcasts. So I need to work into overdrive on everything. So that'll be me.
Cool.
They should have called it Tack and the Power of Tutu.
Hey, Field, do you got anything going on in the next week?
I'll probably stream some stuff. I've decided to just kneel and be like, I'm going to start streaming my backlog so I can get through all these fucking games that I need to play by the end of the year, and also will still stream. So to combine those two goals, I have to combine those two goals for them to happen.
Okay, that's a good plan.
That's it. There'll be streams. Maybe I'll show up for some of Jack 2 because that's the one that I played the most. That's the one I owned.
I'm so fucking...
The one where you kill Chaos.
I'm so fucking excited for Jack 3 because I haven't even seen a single screenshot from that game.
Oh, yeah.
The only thing I know about it is this magazine article from forever ago that's like, you don't understand. Jack 3 streams the environment. It's stunning millions of polygons. I'm like, whoa. I need to play that game. Also, in case you're not genuinely interested in Jack, maybe just stop by because we're playing the PS4 versions of 2 and 3 on the PS5 and seeing if it breaks.
And it seems like it's going to.
Oh yeah, it seems like it's gonna just do some horrible graphical glitches.
Hell yeah.
Very excited.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Big Think Dimension. If you would like to support us, head on over to www.patreon.com/gbpodcast, where you can get extra podcasts and early access to our anime podcast, Chugging Bleach and Mondo Cool. Head on over there and become a $5 backer or a podlord today. This month's GigaBoots executive producers are Esme, E. Lee Broyles, Starfalcon, Spaceman Spiff, Red Blaze 27, Brendan O'Sullivan, Dobo Muito Real, Ace Gundam Pilot Adam Admar, Cooper Tank, Zilter, and Virmvarn. Thank you very much to our executive producers. And also these gamers. If you want to be a gamer or ascend to God Kinghood, then head on over to patreon.com/gigaboots today.